away and get the initiative started?
Yes, of course. So, from last time when we started, the very first thing that happened was we were at the meat traders, or the hunters, and Swarthal gets his ass beat by children, courtesy of Rubik, who instigated the hunters' two children to grab stones and start beating the shit out
I forgot.
of him.
Allow me to mute myself while this is happening.
um, we buy a bunch of meat from him for the dinner at the blacksmiths at Jacques. And then Oren was at Pixie's Potions, and he absolutely doesn't get tricked by the fake one, by a fake one that was supposed to get him to give her whatever the heck she wanted, I think. But he does purchase a one. But on his way back, he gets harassed and stopped by townsfolk who blame our group for making their families go to war and sending their children off to die. He retaliates a little bit excessively, like, and sends one of the townsfolk flying. He goes invisible and walks away as quickly as possible, and then meets up with us at the blacksmith's. The dinner gets started, and then at the very beginning, Rubik starts drinking before we all get drunk, but also invites the captain, or tells the hunter to invite the captain. The captain eventually comes, but not for the reason that he was invited to dinner, but because the townsfolk have told him that there was a commotion and one of them was severely injured, and that the cause was a particular gnome. Oh my god. Somehow that gets sorted out between Jacques and Rubik. And then dinner happened, actually, with the rest of the bud and the captain. After dinner, which is anyway, after dinner, after like hanging out with people for a little bit, we leave to go. My roll 20 is screwing up. Anyway, yeah, sorry. I lost where I was. We're leaving to go to the Ember Citadel.
Yeah, why did you guys have to leave so early?
One, because of, well, Coin wanted to leave early because his nestmate?
Yes, well done. Yeah, give yourself 250
Nestler.
points right for that. That was good.
But
Good.
yeah, so Nestler is said to be either dead or missing, or like he's in the zone where he should have reported in, but he didn't, so people think he's dead. But Coin really wants to go find him and confirm that he's not dead.
Correct.
Yes.
Good job. Yeah. So, and what was the other reason?
And we made a deal with the captain that we would leave immediately because we were causing unrest in the city after
City of
Orin, Acheron.
Yep.
After our gnome decided to send one of the people flying.
Almost killing,
Yeah, almost killing him.
but he's alive.
Yeah, that's a very important thing. If he had died, we probably would not be allowed to stay, even the evening. But anyway, we leave. Mo- most of the people are riding with the the squad of Amberjack riders, and except for me and Coin, we rode separately, and then we kind of make our way towards the Amber Citadel. It took about half a day for us to get to fairly close to where we needed to go, and then we got ambushed because I fucked up. And then that was where we left off.
Did you guys escape the ambush?
We did escape the ambush. We are a couple people short. Not PC short, but like some of the riders got ballisted out of existence. Other random things to note is that we have 2 of the 3 rare ingredients required for Coin's weapon, right?
Correct.
Black bark and the ember goose.
Yeah. Yep. We just picked up the black bark, and then we had the Embrus set from before.
Yes. Well, no, we just got more. We just got more then.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Orin's got goop in his pocket.
Yeah, Orin grabbed some goop on his way. He rolled a natural 20.
Orin's got goop in his pocket.
Oh god. All
Hey,
Oh.
his words, not mine.
Again, when he used to get the glowing ooze or whatever, Jay. But yeah, so you guys have basically made it past the ambush and are now on your way to the wall.
We stopped to rest after, very briefly, for a short rest.
Yeah. So you guys are basically taking a break. So we will end the initiative roll for that. So thank you, Kuuretsu. Good job on the reroll on that. Jay, if you wouldn't mind doing the theme song for everybody, and then we'll get started. And luckily, I can do it on here as well now.
All right.
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, 3 points for that. I do appreciate it. You know how frustrated I get with bot commands. So we will start off with you guys basically entering the open fields of where the forest ends and the the wall kind of meets the citadel. And when you stop, you see that everyone kind of stops right in the tree lines before they go out in fields, obviously not being in view of the wall. As everyone stops, they're kind of taking a short break and again kind of dismounting from their amberjacks and kind of watering and feeding them. And the leader Icarus walks over to you all and says, "Well, at least we made it here alive, and all of you seem to be intact." He looks to the rest of his men. I wish I could say the same for my own.
We have to keep looking forward, though. If we get down on what we've lost now, then the rest of the mission isn't going to succeed.
Of course.
They would want that. Don't let their deaths be in vain. I'm sorry for your men, though.
He's just going to keep petting his amberjack and nod.
I know what it's like to lose a brother.
Roll a persuasion check. Does anybody else want to say anything?
Good old plus 0. I got a 3.
You see that he appreciates your words, but doesn't really say anything in reaction to it. Like he's not really commenting or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Are we all standing around like on the amberjacks around this guy, like, or are we kind of like in a row or marching formation, or what's the setup at the moment for like general?
Everyone's kind of bundled up right now and staying together.
Okay.
Some of the riders have dismounted and are like letting their amberjacks relax for a moment before they ride again.
I'm going to go through my items and just kind of make sure my alchemy bag is all in. How is everybody feeling? Does anybody need medical attention before we leave?
I'm all right.
Sorthal pulls an arrow out of his shield. I'm good, thank you, though.
I'll look to the rest of the group.
Rask is still kind of kneeling by the injured guardsman and the rest of them that he healed. Just kind of partially paying attention, but mostly tending.
Rubik never needs the heals. He never takes them anyway.
Grumble in Dwarvish.
Do you need any help, Rask?
Seems fine. Me okay.
All right. Well, as soon as we can finish up with those men, we can get going. How much farther until we actually reach the wall?
He points forward. Only another half mile. We would have to sprint fully to the wall. You see Coin and Elwyn are actually looking at a map, and Coin is pointing to a part of the wall that he wants to go at.
Why there?
That's how we get into the jail, and that's where Nestler will be. As he walks over to the amberjack and grabs his backpack off and slings it over his shoulder.
Are you sure he's going to be there? I mean, I understand it makes sense, but do you have any... Are you just making assumptions?
That's where they would torture him to get information. In the castle itself.
Rubik wants to glance at the map. Which side of the city is the jail on? And does it correspond to the side that like the dwarven reinforcements possibly may bombard from? I assume that they're just going to shoot at the walls with some artillery first.
You know that the dwarves, or you remember that the dwarves yet? They're still at the northern border of the forest itself. They haven't even gone in the path that you guys have taken, or they haven't traveled as far yet.
Gotcha.
But this is what the Ember Citadel looks like over an overview of everything.
Like with the map that we have.
Yes.
Word. That's pretty boss.
Right, that looks sweet. I really like
It
that.
is massive.
Official.
Thank you. Yeah, it is a massive. It is one of the largest cities of Wood Elves known to existence and favor. Within its existence, it has several temples of different types of deities, different within itself, but they do not really revere outsiders as much unless you live within the forest limits itself. Yes. Obviously, everything is set out is in kind of in its own districts of where you don't really know, but you can really distance and anywhere because of how tall it stands, and it's basically built amongst the another group of white trees, like the trees of life that you were near with the squirrel folk city of Akron.
Yep.
So you can tell that this place is massive. You can't even really fathom like parts of the walls. Like you guys are in Spectrum, like right out here.
Lower left.
Okay.
So Elwin got you in between these two roads, and he told the squirrel folk where to go. This would be the best place. But Coin told him he wanted to get close to the jail since he believes that is where Nestler will be being tortured for his information, since they would know he's a Harper.
Bunch of questions for is this a ground city? Also, the walls. I assume it's walled, and also does the tree line appear to approach the walls? Like how close, or do they like clear cut like a killing ground between the walls and the forest?
It splits. It becomes fields a half a mile away from the walls, and
Okay.
there are walls, and it is a ground floor level. But there is also buildings within the trees itself, like where those white pockets are within the place. Those are trees.
Okay, so unshaded areas that aren't roads are assumed
Yeah.
to be tree structures and stuff.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, because they use the trees to travel. So consider it like a triple layered system of a city.
Okay, cool.
They have an entrance to the jail on the outside of the walls.
Not necessarily to the jail itself. Coin looks at Elwin, and Elwin's going to speak in Wood Elf for a moment, and as he's describing something, he looks over at Sorthal. Sorthal rolls his eyes. He says that we have to go through the sewers.
How large are they?
Elwin says that they're luckily very close to the entrance of to where we would have to go into the jail. Luckily, not too far into the sewers from where we would be located here.
Well, how tight is the sewers? Are we crawling through? Can we walk through?
He looks to Elwin. Hunching.
I suppose as long as I don't have to crawl.
Elwin gets back on the amberjack and he says something in Elvish, and Sorthal kind of gulps. He says the sewers are the least of your worries. When we enter the jail, where things get worse. The only other option, he says, is to go over the wall or find another sewer to go through. But unfortunately, he says that they could wind up anywhere now, since changing things. But the jail would always stay the same.
Are we going to be able to get out of the jail on the inside? Or are we going to have to come out and go in another way?
You see Elwin's thinking for a moment and looks at the map, and he says, luckily where the jail ends is the barracks entrance of the Wood Elf Legion, 3rd Legion. You would be on top of it. There is a way to get to the castle itself from there, like an emergency. It can be very dangerous, though, Elwin says, but it can be done.
Do we know, is the exits of to the sewer barred?
Elwin nods his head. He says they're graded, not barred.
So
they prefer a clean city, and they often do monthly inspections and thoroughly clean the infrastructure of the city. He kind of like raises his nose. What do you think we are? Dwarves or humans?
I don't really find that relevant right now. How tall are the walls?
They stand at least over 5 miles tall, at least.
So they are like
the trees.
like the trees, essentially.
Yep. And you can see they're actually made of the tree.
So
it's very magical and unnatural, the sense of it all. They're huge, and they look like they're fortified very heavily.
I don't want to have to crawl through the sewer or go through the sewer, but it might be our best option there. Ending up in the jail. I mean, you know there's going to be guard, but there might not be too many. Depends on if the dwarf started attacking on the north side of the city yet. Can I roll to see if I can hear anything? Yeah. I mean, I know it's
survival.
It's very far, but I'm just
roll survival.
Would Rubik have the knowledge from earlier that you had mentioned, or it's just a general statement that you made?
You would have the general knowledge of that since you were informed by Lady Lily of
Yeah.
what was going on, and the council of Acheron.
Rubik speaks up. And, if they're pulling war machines, they're probably another week out. We're awful early, but who knows if they sense an advanced force or not.
Everybody roll perception check as you guys are all chatting. Besides Carnes.
I got an 11 on my survival, so I probably don't.
Or you look more jacked in your picture than before.
Natural 20 for perception.
Jesus.
Hot damn. Got an 8.
19.
Rask, where's that one?
Damn.
I, for some reason, can't find my character sheet.
No?
Is it where you left it?
It is actually exactly where I left it, but I closed the tab where I left it, so I don't have it.
Kuuretsu.
Here, I'll just tell you afterwards. It's not high.
Less than 15.
Alright. You and Ivan both rolled an 8.
Well,
You might have the higher, but still.
yeah, basically.
So Rubik with a natural 20 and Orin with a unnatural 19, you both notice shadows kind of flying over the fields, and you can see that giant eagles being ridden by wood elves scour the fields in between the castle and the forest border.
I got a 15.
Okay.
How close are we to the edge of the wood line?
You're probably about 100 to 150 feet away. Like you're kind of scattered amongst themselves. Like you're not all conglomerated in one spot. You're kind of spread out in a thin like line.
Mm.
We don't have a lot of we don't have a lot more time to sit around and talk. I mean,
Where's the entrance to the sewer?
Elwyn smiles and he points up and he says something, and then Sorthal rolls his eyes. He says again, luckily it's only a mile and a half up the wall where the sewer drain begins. We'd have to climb another mile or another half mile up to get to the subfloor of this the jail, then through the grate, and then we'll end up in the furthest part of the jail, but at least we'll be there. Sorthal just kind of looks to everybody. Perhaps maybe we should just try to sneak in through the gate. Through negotiation, perhaps.
have you looked at us? We're clearly outsiders.
Through the sewers, then. Sorthal just seems very discouraged because he just doesn't want to get dirty again. And he remembers the hippo lizard from last time.
I'm okay. I hate that hippo lizard too, Sorthal, but me more than anybody.
How many great eagles appear to be in the sky? Like in
You see in a group
relatives?
of them. You see in a group of them, there are 4 great eagles. It looks like in just one group that are flying over,
with the riders?
with several riders on them. Yeah. They look these eagles are huge. Like they could fit a couple wood elves on their backs. But you see that Icarus is very nervous. They would get us in an instant. We have to be careful climbing the wall. Plus, I hear there's ballistas. Is there some way we could turn invisible or try to cloak ourselves better? Do any of you know magic or greater arts? Icarus looks kind of inquisitive and more excited as he begins to keep talking about this subject.
I can't turn enough of this invisible for it to matter. I mean, I suppose if we split up in a, general vicinity, but I don't have enough magic to turn everybody invisible. What about you, Orin? I'm not sure, but your magic is more powerful than mine.
I can only do one.
Not enough for
We will have to move fast then. Icarus puts his goggles down.
Can the amberjacks climb the walls?
Amberjacks can climb anything. He kind of like gets defensive about it. There's nothing they can climb. They can even get themselves out of ember sap if you train them well enough.
Let's get going then.
Well, hold on. How fast do they go up the wall? How fast can they climb to the grate?
I've never tried. What else probably would have killed me if I had long ago, and they'll still will probably now. He just kind of laughs, but I've never tried. I guess we'll have to find out together, dwarf. And he's gonna hold out his hand, waiting for you to like mount with like basically he's going to carry you.
I
You
grab
get
his
to
hand and
ride
hop
the
on.
Camera Rex.
What did you say, Kuuretsu?
Does he get to ride the Camera Rex?
Yeah, he's gonna ride on the back of the Camarax with Icarus.
Rubik is secretly stoked because Camaraks are badass.
Rask
grab
is still. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I'd grab his hand and hop up.
Rask is still like trying to figure out if he's gonna fit in the sewer, if they all have to hunch. He's like kind of stooped over, trying to. He looks very confused, but then he just shrugs and then he gets up and goes to his amberjack.
All right. You see that you might have to, instead of crouching, you might actually have to crawl yourself. And you're not looking forward to it. Then you kind of like laugh as you kind of think to yourself like, if it's gonna be bad for Sorthal, how bad is it gonna be for you?
Oh god.
Sorthal
I
obviously
don't
not
have
even
pretty-
being half your size in a sense. So you guys, everybody kind of gets back onto their amberjacks. You see the riders are putting their goggles back on. You see they grab their giant acorn, top of their acorn nut shields and their giant spears. And they wait for Icarus's mark as another group of eagles flies over. As the morning sun kind of emanates through the ember dew as it kind of like shines down on the fields around you, you can see that it's a very like beautiful morning and almost scene. But in one quick instant, you instantly hear a. You see Icarus and all the other amberjacks just book it as fast as they can, faster than they were even running through the forest, since open fields have no penalties in a sense. They're going as fast as they possibly can.
I am just hanging on for dear life.
All right.
Rubik's got a javelin in one hand and hanging on with the other.
All right. Yeah.
Some, like, sitting bitch on the.
So you see Rubik is in front of you guys, and he's kind of hanging on tight, and he's got a javelin in one hand, and he's riding forward with the Camarax and Icarus. And you guys eventually approach the wall, and you see within no hesitation or even delay, you see that you guys are now vertical, going upwards, somewhat at about an 85-degree angle, going up. And you can see that not only is it that it's so slanted, you see that you've almost lost no momentum. And the amberjacks are still moving, and they're actually catching up with the Camarax. The Camarax is actually a little bit slower, but they're keeping within pace. He's kind of the pace car, so the amberjacks don't tucker themselves out. So as you guys continue to ride up the walls, you eventually hear like almost kind of like whistling of, not from Icarus, but you actually see ballista bolts start hitting and ricocheting off the side of the walls. They're coming towards you. Everybody roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh gosh.
Oh, ooh, that was close. I puckered up my butthole.
Nice.
Oof.
Can I see the ballistas being shot at us? I assume.
No, they are too far up. You basically only heard the whistles of the bolts coming down at you.
So it's not in fact I can see.
No, you couldn't see it. You could hear it.
Well, okay. Sure.
Two 11s, a 22, and a 19.
Okay. So as you guys are riding, no one seems to take damage. Rask and Rubik, you actually get kind of like piece of shrapnel kind of hit you from the wall as the ballistas ricochet off the side, and you can now hear arrows starting to whiz down past you guys now as well. As you continue to ride up about another 100 feet, everybody roll another dexterity saving throw.
I'm rolling wonderfully.
I'm rolling wonderfully.
Me too.
Ooh.
6, 10, 16, 24.
All right. So, Rubik, you eventually see that the Camarax gets hit by a couple arrows, but within one instant, you kind of see it that it flexes its muscles as it's climbing up, and the arrows just break out of its skin. And you also see Icarus is swinging his spear forward, blocking any of the arrows that are coming at him and his comrades as fast as he can. You even see that he's taken a couple arrows already.
We have to keep moving.
Only about halfway there. You guys are still flying up, but after a moment of time, everybody roll a perception check as you're riding on the back of your amberjacks and Rubik your camels.
Ooh, that was close to a 1. I don't want to fall half a mile down from this tree.
18, 19, 20, and 18.
Nice.
you all notice a great eagle group coming in from behind you. On their backs, also ballistas with several units, and they look like they have archers and glider units.
Suck my unit.
Okay.
Javelin.
You can javelin them.
Yeah. How far away are they?
All four of you roll an initiative really quick. They're coming in. They're basically going to strike at you guys. So there's going to be a form of combat right here.
Rather have my shitty roll be on initiative.
That's what I have. Advantage.
Yeah. Have a what on it? No. 15.
Fuck.
Rask, me, Rubik, Oren.
In that order.
Saving the best for last.
You're most likely to be able to harm all of them at once. So. Don't.
Banishing birds.
Shit. That'd be pretty mean.
What?
Banishing.
I send your bird mount to the.
Yeah, I was looking at my spells. I was like, banishment. I was like, ooh, banish the great eagle. I was like, that'd be mean.
That would be
Sorry, we had a phone call.
So, all right. So you guys are about to interact. You guys will obviously get the attack of opportunity first, since they're flying in towards you, trying to grab at you guys. So starting off with Rask, what would you like to do?
Are they within reach yet?
Yeah, they're within attacking reach. Like they're flying in, and they're about to start grabbing you guys.
Okay. Sorry, I have to check what the new feat does. I forget.
What feat is it?
Sentinel.
It doesn't apply to
Ooh.
me currently.
No, because it has to be the text of opportunity.
Well, I was just confused because he said it is attacks. So.
Yeah, surprise round.
Surprise round. Okay, that's different.
Yeah, it's like an ambush surprise round.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame at one of them. It's within 60 feet, right?
Correct.
Okay. They have to do a dex saving throw versus 15.
Are you targeting the bird or somebody else?
The bird. Well, no, the one that would be, I guess, riding the bird.
Okay. 15, you said?
Yeah.
He fails.
Okay, he takes 1d8 radiant damage. Three. I'm just not really sure what to do with this.
Just 3 damage.
Yeah. I wish it had the blinding property, but I don't.
So you kind of launch the spell at the rider. You see it hits him, but it doesn't really do too much, and he kind of regains his left arm that you kind of knocked away from the reins, and he grabs it and pulls up. And luckily for you, you actually stopped him from grabbing any of the amberjacks and threw him and his eagle off balance a little bit. It will now be Ivan's turn.
Okay, I am going to concoct acid bombs, and I'm going to throw them at the wings of the eagle.
Okay.
Oh no. Inhumane.
I got a 17 and a 24 to hit.
The 24 hits.
The 24, I got a 16 for damage.
You hit one of the great eagles in the wing. And lets out a mighty shriek. Like a, and as it does, you see its feathers start to dissolve, and you smell a nasty, putrid smell of burning flesh just emanate the air as its wings are wafting at you guys. For a split moment, you actually see you see that the Camarax, as the eagle is also flying in, the Camarax is going to use its attack of opportunity as well to basically cut off the head of the great eagle with all three of its tail axes.
Oh yeah.
Good hit. The next target up is going to be Rubik with his javelin, I'm assuming.
Where is the next?
The next one's coming right at you, basically. Like you're defending your own amberjack.
Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna javelin away then, I guess. I'm just reckless javelin.
At the eagle, or do you want to hit the
eagle? No, the eagle.
Okay.
17 to hit.
Miss. You see that the eagle just kind of grabs uses its talent to grab the javelin in midair and just kind of snaps it in half. And it's going to come down, and you see that when it does, it's going to actually start to grab one of the amberjack riders as it's like trying to lift off. Roll a. You can, if you want to, you can roll for another attack if you'd like.
Yeah.
To try to stop. All right.
What's natural 20?
Oh snap!
Max damage to also.
Roll another natural 20 for me.
Well, roll another d20. I mean, I hope it's a natural.
We'll roll another d20. Yeah.
For what?
I just want to see something else.
Because the DM told you to roll a d20.
19.
Okay. Oh no, he was probably asking for adding stuff.
Well, yeah, it was for modifier.
No.
So yeah, you hit him in such a critical spot. You actually launch a javelin right into the eye of the eagle. Doing max damage. So you see it drops it lets go of the amberjack rider and just kind of thrashes it and actually runs into the wall and then knocks all of the wood elf riders off of it.
Yeah. Keep running.
Orin, it is now your turn.
How many eagles are left?
One.
One.
Well, technically two. The one of them is flying away, but just it was unable to do anything.
I'm gonna do. How close is it? Like, is it within 30 feet?
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast Blight on the eagle.
Okay.
Makes a con saving throw. It takes 8d8 necrotic damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one.
What does he got to beat?
17.
Oh no.
Per
He did
usual.
not beat that. He got a 6.
52 damage.
That's a lot of 6 and aboves.
So you basically launched. What is the attack again?
It's called Blight. It drains the moisture and vitality from target creature.
That's cool. So you basically suck the life out of this eagle as it's trying to fly down and grab one of the amberjack riders, and instead of that, you see you hurt it so badly that it weakens and tries to fly away, and it kind of like lands off into the field and hits the ground hard, like kind of like almost like a helicopter hitting the dirt. You don't see that it's like dead, but you can see you very badly injured it, and the fall hurt it even worse.
Nice.
After you guys defended yourselves, the amberjack riders, everyone was safe from that raid or that attack right there. So you guys were successful and no one was killed. You guys continue to ride up, and eventually you get to the drain. When you do, you see that the Camarax is taking basically kind of like covering over the hole in front of you guys. So you see that Icarus is blocking any of the attacks that are coming your guys' way. He shouts off to all of you, and he says, "Quick, you're going to have to climb into the tunnel. Just be careful and do not fall." Right now, you're basically swinging off of an amberjack into a hole.
I cast guidance on myself.
All right.
How far away
I
is the
am
hole?
too.
The hole. Everybody is about 10 feet away from the hole, so this is going to be a pretty.
I missed you step into it.
All right. You see that? He steps right into the hole. No problem. When he does, he just kind of brushes himself off as if he did some work there. I had to climb or something.
Is there somewhere to attach a rope to on the other side?
Like a grate or anything?
Yeah.
There are basically chunks of like rock that have become jagged and kind of like smoothed and worn from water, but because they're also smooth that you could potentially see they could also slide off a rope or anything like that.
All right. Well, I'll pull out my rope of climbing and I'll hold the one end and I'll tell the other because it's a 60-foot rope, so I'll tell the other end to go tie off onto one of the rocks over there. I'm still gonna try to jump, but that's just like another safety measure.
Okay.
I am not a good jumper.
I'm glad I'm not wearing my armor for this.
Rubik jumps.
Yeah, me
Shit,
too.
he's ready to kill some shit. Killing chickens in the sky is unsatisfying.
I got a 5 overall.
Oh God!
Rope of climbing to the rescue, please.
I don't even know if that can save me from that.
It's falling damage is 1d10 per 10 feet, by the way.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
know how high up it
I
is.
know.
So you see that Ivan tries to tie the rope off, but as soon as he does, he jumps off, and you can see that he's already hanging and can't get a grasp, and the rope's barely hanging on. Orin, you notice this, and you're just kind of like standing above the rope that's slowly sliding off the rock as Ivan is wiggling, trying to pull himself up.
Grab it!
You see the squirrel focus trying to grab onto you. Hold still, you're gonna fall.
Guy, I'm not a climber.
How far is he? 10
Uh,
feet still? Or...
He's 5 feet below you. He's hanging off of a rope though that is sliding off.
Can I benign transposition with them and then Misty step back up? Basically, benign transpositions teleport spell allows me to swap places with them. I mean, it's up to you, but since it is a lot.
Yeah, I will allow that. Let me go with let me get to Rubik and Rask first.
Okay.
So you're just kind of hanging there. Rubik and Rask, what would you like to do?
All I can do is jump.
All right, roll me an athletics check.
I also got a
Hey.
2, but mine is a 9.
It's almost twice as good as mine.
The only reason why is because I had between me and you is 4 in our mods, and we got the exact same
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah, I'm not really a strength person.
It's okay.
Kuuretsu, or Rask, I should say, you jump, grabbing onto the edge, and you are now also hanging off the edge, but you are higher up, and you actually almost kick Ivan. You can see you're right above him.
Your tail's in my face!
Sorry, but the way he jumped is actually really funny because he kind of spread eagles, trying to like his tail is straight out and he's not sure how to do it.
All right, Rubik, your turn.
All of his friends are being dummies and hanging off the ledge of a 1,000-foot wall, so he's gonna rage and then try it.
Ooh.
17.
You jump and you actually you kind of jump right past Orin, and Orin doesn't even see this coming. That you're like the amount of like, distance you covered basically from the Camerex above the sewer hole and down below that you got. And he's just kind of like Orin just kind of like was looking to help Ivan and Rask, but instead was just kind of like distracted by how quickly you got down in that hole with no problem.
I turn and begin to help our comrades as they fall to their deaths.
I'm not
Are you
falling!
helping us?
I step on
helping
the
us
rope
fall?
and then grab Rask's hand and pull him up. So I save both. As Orin's sitting there doing some gibberish magic shit.
Well, Orin's going to help Ivan, and you help Rask. Roll a strength check for me. Both Kuuretsu and Rubik, or Rask and Rubik, I should say.
just straight strength, or you want?
Strength check.
Okay.
Cool.
19.
And Rubik got a 17. Oh,
Rubik
31.
got
Yeah,
a 23.
yeah, raging. So Rubik yanks Rask up so hard that Rask is being dragged now down the tunnel as Rubik doesn't even realize his own strength and is like doesn't realize that his 1 to 2 steps that he thinks he's taking, he's actually almost running backwards with Rask.
Too fast.
I
Too
throw
fast.
him over my shoulder. He's
I'm basically getting thrown into the sewer wall.
So you're basically dragging Rask. When you pick up Rask, you can see Rask is now being like pinned between you and the ceiling as you're dragging Rask down the tunnel. Orin, you switch places with Ivan, and Ivan, you are now staying where Orin was, and Orin, you are now where his string is, or his
Orin!
rope, I should say, and now you are back up above behind Ivan again.
I'm gonna coil up my rope.
Okay.
Rubik will go back to the entrance and prepare to receive Pointy Boy and Birdfolk and any others that are coming in.
Here, Rubik, here. Actually, you can hold onto this end and tell the rope to go across, and then you can catch them if they don't have a good enough jump.
I just reach my hand out, like not even looking back, as I'm like, people are jumping towards the entrance for the rope, and
All right.
I yell at the rope, get him!
Ooh, natural 1. So when Sorthal jumps, you actually see that when
Of course, it's Sorthal.
when he jumps, he actually slips off, and he starts to fall down the wall. And
Go magic rope.
It's
Lasso of truth.
60-foot rope.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to try to grab him?
Well, Rubik's the one who's holding it.
Oh, Rubik. All right. Rubik, roll a reflex saving throw to try to use the rope and grab him.
Would you like to? How about a 5e saving throw?
Dexterity.
Dexterity saving throw. My
Okay.
bad. Same
No,
thing.
you're good. Straight 20.
All right. So yeah, you
Pointy boy.
you easily grab the bottom of his foot with the rope and just kind of stop him from falling as he's now face to face with one of the Amberjack riders who's also grabbing him by the leg. Oh boy.
I just start heaving him up. Like
He looks up
the
at
water.
you as you're hauling him up like almost like a fish out of the water. And his arms are just kind of crossed as he's just like, I told you all this was a bad idea, and I'm already going to die.
You're fine. As long as we're here, you're gonna be fine.
You see Rubik with all of his strength has no problem dragging him into the sewers and is now pulling him like he was pulling Rask.
Oh, you can't die that easy, Pointy boy.
I'll help Sorthal to his feet.
Okay.
And Elwin, I would assume, is coming as well.
Yeah, Elwin had no problem getting in, neither did Coin.
Okay.
And anybody else that like I have a chance to that seems to be like nervous or having trouble, I'll direct the rope to like go to them to grab it before they make the jump.
Well, you see that the rest of the Squirrel Folk and the Amberjack Riders are actually going to leave.
Okay.
They're going to back to the main army to lead.
Sweet.
Icarus looks to you all and says, "Good luck, brothers and sisters. May your paths guide you." And he's going to ride off. And you see, as soon as he
Wait,
does,
quick.
a bunch of ballistas like hit the side, and you could even hear like one of them like scream out like, "Watch out!"
Quick before he rides off, I'm gonna quick cast Sanctuary on him.
Okay. So you quick cast Sanctuary on him, and they ride off into the down below. But they're using the momentum of the wall going downward, so they're flying down the wall. And the Amberjacks are gliding now. So yeah, you guys are now inside the sewers, and you can see that it's quite cramped. It stands at about 4.5 foot tall. So yeah, you're gonna have to either crouch or crawl.
Rubik ducks his head.
Orin stands proudly.
Rubik's only 4'8", so
Rask is struggling.
Yeah, Ivan's 5'10", so he's not exactly short.
Right, so you're gonna have to crawl too, probably, or like
Ooh,
wobble through.
You can hunch. You'd be okay hunched over.
I'm gonna pull out my what's that guy's name from 300?
Leonidas.
Nope.
The guy with the
The
hunchback.
hunchback.
Oh. Follow me through the gold path.
Yes, that guy.
Ability?
Ability.
Not the name, but exactly what he says.
Yes.
It's close enough.
Ability,
That's all you need then, though.
Jesus. So, you guys are now standing in the path, and basically in the sewers. And you see Elwin is looking at the map and is going to point forward, and you can see it is incredibly dark.
How long ago were we in the fight with the ambush? Like with all the arrows?
Less than an hour and a half.
Okay, because I cast dark vision when I was in that fight,
Okay.
and it lasts for 8 hours
Okay.
with no consequence.
So you guys are walking down, and you can see that even with dark vision, you could probably only see 30 feet in front of you. So it's very dark. It's almost like there's some sort of eerie spell that's been put upon this area to make it this difficult to see for trespassers. As you continue to walk, you notice that there's little frogs and lizards and creatures and bugs and rats kind of running around the sewers. It almost seems like it almost has its own ecosystem, as there's grass and mushrooms growing all over the place. As you guys kind of are stepping in water and smushy, nasty soil and compost. Sewer grate every once and so often, and you guys continue to walk on. Does anybody want to light a torch, or does everyone just want to like kind of keep the lights off and stay quiet? Does anybody want to? What do you think at this point?
I say lights off.
As someone with dark vision, lights off. Excuse me.
I agree with the lights off.
Let's chance to draw attention. Elwin, or Sorthal, can you ask Elwin how far we have to go?
So I was going to ask. Elwin's going to point ahead, and he says at least another 500 to 700 feet.
Let's keep trucking. Well, wagoning.
Not too much further, he says. You see Coin is very eager, and he's trap finding, but you can see that he's wasting like no time, and he's moving quite quickly, and even Elwin is like telling Sorthal to tell him to slow.
We can't be messing up. I know you want to get there.
I'm not going to mess him. I'm going to save my friend. He's going to. You see that he actually takes a match and blows out the smoke to see if there's any tripwire, and nothing's there. As he emanates the smoke through, he keeps on walking. Hurry up. This should be it. As Sorthal looks to him and says, he says this should be it, so we just go through here. And he looks at everyone like, how do we sneak into jail? Maybe we send Coin and Elwin first, they're the quietest.
Do we know where this jail comes in or out of the jail? Are we in like the bottom of the jail? Are we in like the outside of the jail, like just beyond the entrance?
We are underneath the jail, Elwin. Elwin tells Sorthal. Sorthal also says, he says that we're underneath the jail. We should be near the luxury wing of the jail, where the nicer cells are located. But to find your friend, we would have to search the entire jail. Elwin shrugs, and there actually is a part of the jail where it's a labyrinth for people who try to run away.
I can make Elwin and Coin invisible for some time. As long as I stay in a safe area, they shouldn't become uncloaked for about an hour.
Sorthal said, I don't think we should split up at all.
We have no way for us to move as a group silently or quietly.
Sorthal just kind of seems discouraged as he doesn't. Obviously, you all know what he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Elwin kind of shrugs, and he looks at everybody and he tells Sorthal. He tells Sorthal something, and Sorthal looks to Coin, and you see that he's not repeating what Sorthal said, or what Elwin said.
What do you say?
He said the likelihood of Nestor even being alive is very slim to none.
I say if we're going to do this because Coin cannot be deterred, and I looked at Coin for confirmation.
Coin, you see Coin is already staring up the gate, and you can see he's already thinking of a way how to get up there. He's not even really paying much attention. Like, He doesn't care if he's going alone or by him, like or with somebody. He's going to go.
I assume the jail's not full of just your standard thieves and murderers, but also people that may be still loyal to the royal family, or have secrets that the royal family has meant to keep, and potential allies. I say we release them as we go. We storm the jail.
You see that Elwyn kind of like hears these words, and then he looks to Sorthal and says something, and Sorthal is speaking back. They're kind of arguing, and Elwyn just like throws his arms up in defeat, and Sorthal laughs and says, "Ha! I beat him. I finally beat the Wood Elf in his own language."
What?
He says that that's an insane idea to free all the prisoners, but
I mean, it's a distraction.
I told him it's the Bone Collector's way, and it's gotten us this far.
Honestly, it'll be easier for us to get around if there's more of a, commotion.
And allies, yes, I agree. And you see, Sorthal's very on board with what Rubik's idea is. What say you, Master Coin or Orin? You both have great strategy in the battlefield.
Do we know what these cells are made of? Are they iron? Are they wood?
Elwyn just kind of shrugs and says, "They're made of mostly steel and black bark."
I'm not positive if that's something that I can melt through.
We'll go take a look at the stonework before he goes to take a piss. And like just the stonework, even just in the sewer, or his like knowledge of stonework in general, like stonework, would it be easier to break the bars or break the stonework that probably holds the bars? And just pull the bars out like in full pieces because stone's pretty brittle, and like a hammer and a chisel can like loosen them up.
Well, probably the stone itself. Then again, I guess we would have to test that. Elwyn tells Sorthal, and Sorthal also repeats as well. He's not too sure. He's never broken anyone out of this jail, and only been there maybe a handful of times throughout his entire childhood. Most citizens and even guards and other outsiders and other members of the Citadel are not welcome there. There's actually only a certain family of elves that guards the Citadel within the Wood Elf Society.
Well, a hammer strike doesn't take long and would tell us much about the construction of the jail. We could get away with just breaking the stone, or if we had to warp or break steel.
Well, that's our first plan then. Are you prepared to do that when we get down there? We're gonna have to act quickly.
I dig around in my pack and I pull out I have masonry tools. I pull out like a heavy chisel and my warhammer and like strap them in my belt. They're at the ready.
Sorthal also points to Rask. Isn't Rask proficient in tools as well, with crafting and deconstructing things?
I think he's more of a steel.
No stone.
Sorthal shrugs. Well, it was worth a shot. Well, then I guess we should all go then, and free all the slaves and start ourselves an army.
I can try to melt through the lock on the door with some of my acid.
It's definitely worth a shot.
Coin looks to everyone. Well, someone boost me up. Let's get going. We shouldn't waste any more time.
I'll go and try to help boost him up.
Okay. Roll a. Give me a strength check.
Oh god, alright. $15.
Oh yeah, you kind of like boost him up and you see he catches onto the side and he starts like kind of like he's almost like when they push against the wall when they climb up, kind of a ninja warrior in a sense, in a way. You see him, he gets up there and he eventually pushes the grate up and is going to when he gets up to the top, he looks down and he says, "I'm sorry, but I have to go on without you all," and he's going to close the gate.
This is Coin?
Yep.
That motherfucker.
You eventually see Elwyn gets upset and he's going to pull out like a grappling hook and start swinging it, and
Go!
He's going to jump up on your foot and jump up.
16.
Crushing it.
You see Elwyn grabs on, but he's having a hard time like getting in between since it's such a smaller hole. And he eventually gets up there, but he's slowly getting up. And when he does, he knocks off the grate and gets to the top, and he looks around and he says, "He's gone.
We need to get up there.
I'll wait for you all. I'm not going to chase him. It's safe if I go after him as well."
Orin, come on.
I go.
Okay.
And I'll try to like
Roll an
boost him up.
acrobatics or an athletics check. Orin and Andy, would you get for strength?
I got a 9.
Okay.
I got
Ooh.
a 19.
But he's-
Luckily,
but he's really light.
Luckily, Orin's booked it up there. Was it acrobatics, Orin?
Yeah. I weigh 27 pounds, so.
Yeah. So you get launched up there, and you actually almost get to the hole, and Elwin just grabs your hand, like you barely even touch the stone.
Thanks.
Elwin, when he grabs you, he says, "Watch my back as I help the others up." And Orin, when you arrive in the jail, I will now show you what it looks like.
Blackness.
I fixed the Discord overlay, finally.
Nice.
All right. So in the bottom left corner, you guys appear, one after another. I will say just for a short period of time, you guys basically take 10 to kind of climb up, and you're just taking your time in a sense.
Okay, yes, I agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
I found going.
Yeah.
Oh god, this is a huge map.
I'm not seeing anything on my end.
It's at the very
The
lower
bottom
left.
Bottom left.
Lower left.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, it's a very large area.
Okay, I see. It's one of those things where you show it as it goes. All right,
Yeah, it's the fog of war.
gotcha.
So you see it is so dark, so pitch black that you can just smell the rotten stench of basically nasty flesh, mold, just all sorts of unmentionable smells. About like obviously just from the sewers itself being so close to the sewers, just horrible, absolutely horrible. You also hear weird moaning and groaning noises of people being tortured. Off in the distance, you can hear people kind of shouting and screaming, like screaming for help. It just seems like a very unpleasant place to be, especially for a What Elf city. You wouldn't expect this kind of jail to exist in this area. Like it seems like where they send their worst of the worst.
Do we have any way to locate where Coin is?
Elwin nods his head as he looks for footprints, and you can see that there's just too much water and dripping everywhere.
Begin with the doors.
Trill's gonna hide in Orin's pocket.
So now, are these like solid walls with doors, or
Yep,
they like
solid walls with
cells?
doors. Yep,
Okay.
solid walls with doors, barred doors.
Can we see through into them then?
Yep.
I'll walk up to this first one on the right.
We'll go in initiative order again. We'll start with Rask. Rask, what would you like to do?
Rask isn't gonna walk ahead because he doesn't know exactly what we're gonna do. So he's gonna wait to follow, I guess, Rubik.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
So you're just gonna wait.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just hold your ground. Do you want to draw any weapons, or do you want to do anything in the meantime? Do you want to ready your action?
Yeah, he'll
Cough.
draw
Suggest
his-
ready action.
he'll draw his glaive and I guess keep an eye out for any
Okay.
movement.
All right. So you kind of ready your glaive, and you just stand your guard, ready for Rubik to make the first move, as you know that he is the leader of your group. It will now go to Ivan's turn.
Rubik, I'm going to try this door on the right. And I'll walk over to that direction.
Do you want to be quiet when you move?
I will.
Roll stealth check.
12.
12.
Yes.
You walk over quietly. You notice that a lot of your stuff in your new alchemist bag is kind of clinging around, so you just kind of like put your hand out and just kind of like close your eyes for a second. Then you continue to walk forward. You get to one moment. All right, so you get to the door and you instantly see that the room is empty. The cell seems to just be basically a collection and a tomb of old bones and rotten corpses of all sorts of different races and beasts and such.
Is there anybody in here? I'll kind of like whisper in between the bars.
You hear nothing reply.
I don't think there's anything over here. Do I have enough movement to? I mean, I'm assuming I do to check this bar, this one over here.
Yeah. So you walk directly across. You walk directly across the path of the jail here, and you look over to the other side as well. After looking further into the jail, you notice the same thing. Nothing. Empty.
And anybody, like, kind of like looking to each of the inside corners and like anybody there.
You try to look. You try to like peek around, but you can't really see all the way farther in this corner or in this corner. So someone could be hiding in there, but no one is saying anything.
I got nobody over here either.
Are we sure this jail is even being used for anything in particular? I mean, what if no one's down here anymore since the rebellion?
I mean, if they made all the sacrifices already, wouldn't the demon already be risen? And wouldn't this is where you would keep the sacrifices, right?
Right.
I mean, that logic would dictate that they're here.
He looks to Rubik for an answer.
At least a majority.
Has Ivan been speaking Sylvan or no? Or is he just speaking common into the cells?
Me, I am just speaking common.
Okay. If it's Rubik's turn, he'll do something.
It will now be Rubik's turn, I assume, after Ivan searched through those two rooms, unless you want to do anything else.
No, that's okay. It's all right.
Rubik will grab Sorthal's arm and be like, "Come on, pointy boy, get up here and see if someone's in here." And like we'll approach like with Ivan and like looking, all three of us kind of like looking through the door and nudge Sorthal to say something in Sylvan.
Which door are you gonna go to?
The one right here. The same one as Ivan is currently at.
All right. So you kind of drag him over, and he looks inside, and he says, "What do you want me to say?"
See if anybody's in here. Damn it!
Hello, anybody in the cell? We're friendly. And you hear no reply.
All right, the other one now.
Oh, come on! I have to do this with every cell.
Yes, come on, elf boy.
Elf boy, I'm not elf.
Pointy boy, elf. It's make it happen.
Elwin's just gonna walk forward and guard in front of everybody as you guys are kind of looking through the cells. And Sorthal's gonna say the same thing. Hello. I mean, I could just yell down the hallway, shouldn't I? That'd be easier.
Yes, alert the guards. That'll be good. I'm ready for combat.
No. Let's at least let a few of them out if we can find them. Hopefully, Coin will even be in one of these rooms as well. We need to keep moving, though.
It's more frustrating than I imagined. Sorthal rolls his eyes. I have to walk to every door and basically play post. So Rubik, you want to walk up here to the next room?
Well, let's see here. I did this 10, 15. I have character sheet. I have 30 more movement, so I will walk from my current place this way 30 feet. Or until like I find a door. Like I'll start walking that way, and if I find a door, I'll stop and check it out.
All right.
Also, I have 30 feet of dark vision.
Yep, I got that.
Okay.
So you get to the next room, And you look inside and you notice that there is nobody in there either.
God damn it. Go. I tell Sorthal, go check the other room, and I'm gonna inspect like the door and like how well constructed it is. Not made, not like the steel components, but where it's attached to like I assume is stonework. Like at the
Yeah.
corner where the hinges are attached. Like, does it does if I like chiseled it, like, does it seem relatively easy to?
You could tell it would probably take you about 10 to 15 minutes to get about 2 or 3 bars out. And there are, within the door itself, there are 10 bars.
How? Okay, so they're really close to get together.
Yes.
Okay.
Tiny compared to some of the other ones.
How about that? What about the like the hinges to just remove the whole door?
The hinges look like they are like very well driven in with giant large spikes that go several feet deep into each wall. So obviously you wouldn't want to drill through the wall on the hinge side. You want, if you were going to go through the stone wall, you'd want to go on the side opposite of the hinge.
Yeah, sure. Alright, I mean, I don't have that much more movement. I'll just like I'll wait for the other people and like wave them towards us, I guess.
All right. So you hang out right there, just kind of waiting for the rest of your party to catch up. It will now be Orin's turn.
Orin's gonna move to here and then just kind of keep an eye out down the hallway.
Okay. Where are you moving?
Kitty corner to Sorthal.
Okay.
Or there. Yeah, there you
You kind of slowly walk down the hallway, not going very far, very fast. You're just kind of creepily walking as you look down the long, dark tunnel up ahead here, and you notice that it's just extremely dark and not very visible at all. Like no signs of shadows or anything like that, or any sounds emanating from anything but dripping and constant screams echoing throughout the rest of the jail. And obviously that nasty pungent smell of mildew and rotten flesh emanating off the walls. You kind of you're just kind of creeped out by the whole situation of it, and it's just not very pleasant. You tell that this whole area is just going to get worse and worse as you go on. If this is the luxury part of the jails. So after Orin's turn, it will go to back up to Rask's turn, who's now seen everyone kind of splitting up and going into rooms and trying to check if anybody's still alive.
Hmm. So Rask is gonna kind of stick with Sorthal,
Okay.
and be looking down the hall, but he's just gonna take a cursory glance into the cells. They all look the same, right?
These cells, yes, they all look very similar. They have almost nothing inside of them. They're bare, but they're all the same dimensions.
Okay.
They have no beds. They have no place. Like they have no hay. There's no place to go to the bathroom. It's literally just a square room.
Okay. And there's no indication that anyone has been there recently.
Roll a investigate.
Six. I got a 6.
So you look through as much of the cells you possibly can that's close to you, and you look around and you can see that there's really no sign of anybody that's been in there for a long time. There is an old body over in the corner, but you can tell it's very rotten from the looks of it, just because the rats that are kind of eating it and not really they're not even afraid of you. You can see that they're just chewing on the body and scattering around, and other than that, you just see there's a couple bones here and there and puddles of water.
Okay. Can I take an additional movement since I'm not doing anything with my standard action? Would the investigate count as the standard?
I would allow you to move for a little bit further if you'd like. Yeah, you can take another move action.
Yeah, I was just gonna continue moving down the hall, kind of slowly, so like 15 feet.
Okay.
Does this still have the magical darkness where we can't see very far? I forgot.
Yeah, even more than ever. Like you thought that
The
the
sewers were.
doors were bad. You could tell that this jail it's emanating even more of that same powerful magic that's covering up a lot of the people. Like basically an outsider's vision.
Mm. Man, too bad I can't willfully disbelieve.
Elwyn kind of says something and whispers to Sorthal, and Sorthal says, Elwyn told me that this place is usually lit, full of guards. Something's not right here.
Let's keep moving. Let's go a little quicker though.
All right. So,
I'm assuming it's my turn.
yes.
Are you done, Rask?
Yep.
Yes.
I will move 30 feet up. And I am going to ready a spell.
Okay.
For if a guard gets in range. Do you want me to tell you what spell it is?
Yeah.
Sleep.
So you ready a sleep spell in your hand, and you're just kind of twirling it around in your finger for a moment, then you just kind of rest it in the center of your palm, like kind of containing the spell before it's released or destroyed or lost within the weed itself. So you've obviously you could tell us how great of a caster you've become just by being able to control a spell and hanging it like this.
And then I'm just going to continue to creep along. I don't think I can do anything for my bonus.
All right.
Outside of bear.
So after Ivan, it will be Rubik.
Rubik will he's just gonna move. He'll move full speed down the hall. I'll move there.
Full speed.
Oh, my full movement, 45.
Okay.
And look around.
Oh no, Rubik's gone.
Rubik's gone. Into the darkness. And then I suppose if I can, I'll look into this room, kind of. Like,
You look in from the corner and you can see that there's nobody there.
I like tap on the bar a little bit, be like, psst.
You hear nothing.
Rubik will go down on the ground, and he'll turn around and go, psh, and like go, psst, and like give like the quiet motion, like finger to the lips to like his whole party, and he's gonna put his ear to the stonework,
Okay.
like the floor.
All right.
Just listen.
Do you want to roll for a perception, maybe?
I mean, that's
Maybe.
I'm listening to the stonework. I don't know.
Oh yeah. If you want to listen to the stonework, yeah, I would roll for perception check.
23.
You try to hear anything that could be on the other side or anything around you, and it's very quiet. Nothing. No, not even really vibrations of anything coming, moving around. No breathing, no noises. Just dripping of water, ever so slightly here and there throughout the rest of the dungeon, and then a slight scream that breaks the silence once in a while.
We're gonna speak up and be like, "There's nobody on this floor. Let's get going." And well, I guess I'll just wait for everybody because they won't be able to catch me otherwise. Actually, I'll use my bonus or not bonus action. Do I still have an action, or is perception action?
No, I'll allow you to do something else.
I was gonna use my action to dash and then move another 20 feet that way.
Okay.
Is that your turn, good sir?
Yep, that's everything. Oh shit. Rubik will he'll take a 5-foot step. Well, a 5-foot step. A five. He'll once he sees that like it's like the corner, he'll step back to like 1 square south.
Okay.
So he's like,
Oh.
yeah.
He's
I'm
tall.
giant.
Tall Rubik.
He just stretches
It's
himself
now
back
over
Looney
9
Tunes
feet.
style.
Oh no.
You've never
There
seen
it
a dwarf quite like this before.
Certainly have not.
Never seen a dwarf so large.
And
So-
I waved the party up, like
Okay.
frantically.
You see Rubik is kind of waving you guys out very, very quickly. It is now going to be Orin's turn.
I dash to here.
All right.
I am.
As far as you can go.
My
Oh.
tiny legs are pumping as fast as they can.
It is cleared. The rest of his. Cleared. It will now be Sorthal's turn. Do you want to run up?
Get him, pointy boy. Believe in you.
Cleared. Frustrated, he kind of looks at everybody. He says, "Why is there no one in these jail cells?" And he's going to run up here next.
Have they been taken already? Do you think they started?
Sacrifices? Sorthal looks to you nervously as he looks in this jail cell. He kind of grabs the bars in frustration. Ugh. Some rebel army will find.
We can't give up.
Elwyn goes like this. Shh.
When
He puts the head. It will now be Rask's turn.
I guess Rask is gonna come just abreast of Rubik and ask, like, what is it? Why is he so frantically waving us up?
You,
Rubik put his ear to the ground, did he notice that there was like a layer of dust or otherwise, or not?
oh yeah, like dust and like just mold and water. Like you can see that there's not a lot of. It doesn't look like anybody's walked down here in a while.
Okay. No metagaming, guys.
Hmm.
Rubik's still on guard. Anyway, it's not Rubik's turn. It's the
Rask.
meth head's
The-
turn, or
the-
meth
yeah.
cook's turn, I think.
What?
Rask.
Ivan.
Oh, yeah.
Unless
no.
Rask would like to do anything else.
Oh,
with-
I'm sorry, it's Rest's turn. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Meth head.
Okay. Well then I guess it's Ivan the method apparently.
I'm not a meth
Meth cook. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's my bad.
bastard. Come up here.
Get it right.
This is nothing but long hallways. What? I look over to the right. What's that? Is that an end? Is that a door?
Is it a cell door?
I'll look towards the right. Does it look like all the other doors we've been walking up to so far?
Yep.
Okay.
It's the exact same.
All right. What way are we gonna go? Should we finish our? Go straight first. Rule that off. Since we already know there's a door this way.
Elwyn's going to put his eyes on the door and he's going to basically say that he's going to stay here and watch the door.
Well, if it's not like the others, can we just look inside?
He's just going to wait here until you guys clear the hallway.
Just go forward into the hallway. And if the dust hasn't been disturbed, then let's turn back and go this direction instead.
All right. Well, that'll be my turn.
All right. So we'll now go to Rubik.
Rubik will move. I suppose like here and look around like the adjacent area to see if dust has been disturbed.
All right. Roll a investigate.
Shit, I don't have a thing. Plus something.
Your intelligence mod.
Good. Because of your intelligence.
You look around and you can tell that they're having footsteps through here, but not very many, and you can't really tell which direction they've been going or how many they've been. Just that people have been walking through this area.
Alright, I'll take
From what it looks like from here, from this door,
Oh, no, go ahead.
from this door here to this way over here.
Okay. I've used 20 feet. Another 20 feet. I'll move up to the next door. Look in. Anybody in here?
You look in the room and you can tell it's empty.
I use my action to dash and go over to the next door. Anybody in here want to live?
You look in that room as well, and you can see that there is nobody in there, and the room is clear.
Dash, I can go. I'll dash and move 35 more feet that way. Or until I hit the next door. I'll stop there.
There.
Yeah. And then I say the same. Hey! And like into the room.
Hello! Get off my yard!
You look in that room as well, and you can tell it is clear.
I don't see anybody. Does it appear that the ash is still disturbed in this area?
Yeah, it looks like someone has walked down this path a time or two.
Hey, anybody there?
I-
Shout it now.
Rubik like speaks up a little bit. He's not yelling, but he says, "There's no one in these rooms either, but it's still disturbed this way." That's my turn.
It will now be Orin's turn.
And it dashed that way. Rapper.
Oren's gonna rap for us.
All I heard was fucking.
Okay.
That was a good one.
A little bit of ASMR for the viewers.
Well, I'm aroused, so. I end my turn.
All right, Orin runs forward, just kind of watching Rubik's back as he explores the rest of this hallway, and you see that he's just kind of having his wits about him, keeping an eye on things. It will now be Sorthal's turn. Ugh, nothing here either. Of course, to be expected. It looks like there's some stuff over this way. Looks like another hallway.
Let's finish off Rubik's hallway before we move on.
Of course. The bars are locked anyways. He just kind of jiggles the handle and tries to get through.
I mean, coin must have come one of these ways. So it doesn't look like this lock's been picked, has it? I don't think he would have locked it behind him.
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't really. It doesn't look like anybody's come through here. At least the door is shut and it won't open.
Where the hell would a coin would have gone?
It will now be Rask's turn.
Did I hear that conversation?
Yeah, you can hear him talking amongst them. I mean, you're right behind Ivan, and
Yeah. If not locked and steps go that way, probably coin.
More than likely. I mean, Coin isn't one to climb on the walls typically. Although
gonna
he
look
did once. He might have. And I'll kind of like look at the walls.
And I'm gonna look up at the ceiling.
okay.
Um,
You look at the bars and you look up at the ceiling, and you can see that they all look. Well, both of you roll and investigate, I guess. Then, were you gonna look at the door?
I'm looking at the wall because I'm like right here, so I'm like
Yeah.
looking like more at the walls, like left and right of
Okay.
me, and then Rask is looking at the ceiling.
Okay.
Natural 1.
oh god, 10. Man, you
So-
with the natural 1 and me with the 10.
So Ivan starts looking around, and as he approaches this wall, you actually see that he kind of like starts scoping it out, trying to see if there's anything there. And you wipe off some of the vines. You actually see a little flower kind of appears out of the vines itself and just stares at you for a moment and just poofs dust into your face. You eventually see Ivan starts coughing and like having a hard time breathing, and he falls to the ground.
I got flower. Whoa.
Ivan, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh god.
Not these again.
Do this.
11.
You seem to be able to somewhat still breathe, but you could tell that your air passages are starting to swell up, and it seems like almost like you're having an allergic reaction, but like 10 times faster and more lethal than one would normally have. You can see his face is turning red, and everything's starting to swell in his face, and his eyes are starting to get swollen. And Rest, you can tell whatever hit him it's very deadly and a very poisonous flower.
I can't breathe so well.
Fuck, what can I do? Yeah, basically he's gonna die because I don't have anything that would help with that. I don't have anything to do with poisons.
All right.
But Rask is gonna walk over and like pat him really hard on the back. I don't know.
All right. You try to give him some pats. Pats in the back as he's poisoned from this flower.
I can try and heal him, but poison.
Well, you're trying to think of a way to do that. It will now go to Ivan, who's poisoned. I mean, you guys kind of did like a combo move there. So I'll actually skip and go to Rubik.
We try to get a combo turn in, try to get extra actions.
Extra actions of you suddenly starting to die and me trying to figure out how to help.
Yes.
Perfect.
Rubik, what would you like to
Rubik's
do?
turn.
Yep.
All right, Rubik's gonna give up on looking in each door, and he's gonna go down the hallway, and wherever the tracks are, he's gonna like track as he's going, and move his movement until the tracks stop. 45 is his base. The tracks continue on.
Yes.
Rubik will dash and continue to follow the tracks. Another 45 feet wherever they're going.
Choose your spot. Where are you going?
Well, I mean, I follow the tracks, so I'd move to here, I guess, and see what the darkness, and then move another 5 feet. And it's hard with the fog of war to determine where I'm going, I guess.
That is exactly the point.
Okay, I'll move 5 feet. I'll move another 5 feet. I'll move another 5 feet. Are the tracks still on the ground?
Yep, and they actually end here.
Okay. I'll just move to there, to that doorway, and yell inside. Or not yell, I guess. I'm not
Speak
being
loud.
quiet anymore. Is anybody in there?
You eventually see a very skinny and very well malnourished squirrel folk sitting in there covered in chains and rags, and he kind of looks up. Who's out there?
A dwarf out for elven blood.
I what?
I'm gonna kill some elves. Do you want to help?
I am too weak to fight.
Why are you here?
I was captured several weeks ago. I was helping a member of the royal family try to escape.
Where are they now? Did they escape?
No, they took them. He looks down sadly as you can tell he failed and is just very upset about the situation as he's still been dwelling upon it, sitting in this cell for several weeks.
Do you want a chance to regain your honor and spill elven blood?
Do you have food and water? I will need a weapon. They took everything.
Good. And Rubik will begin to, I don't know, he's the bars. I guess he'll try to remove one and then go from there and see how bad it is.
All right. Roll for what was it? Intelligence check for using the tools.
I think it depends on the tools. I know smithing tools is strength.
Right.
Thieves tools is dex. I don't know. I imagine masonry would be strength also.
Is that what you have?
I can look it up quick. Hold on. We'll get official ruling.
Take your time and thank you.
Henry has turned his butt to the camera.
Is that his good side?
I don't know. He's looking over his shoulder.
Like, paint me like one of your French girls. Yeah, that's how he would say it too. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Henry is. That's his accent.
Oh, that's not fine. Shit.
Rubik's ruling.
Yeah. As banging ensues, I guess the rest of the party can go as I look this
Okay.
up.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. Oren, what would you like to do? Is you see Rubik kind of just start you hear voices, and then you eventually hear him going ting, 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 as he's already smacking at bars, and or at the brick in the bars above, and you can see that he's the sparks are flying and stuff like that. He's going to town on the wall, or then trying to get whoever out of something, and you can tell obviously he found somebody.
I'm gonna do some crazy shit.
Phew.
I'm gonna dash down the hallway.
Whoa!
Oren, you cease to amaze and astound me.
It's like Bill the other night when he only ran.
Yep. So
Curse
after Oren kind of books it down the hallway, and you see that you're kind of like looking into each room a little bit, trying to see if there's any other survivors, but you don't notice anything on your way. It is now going to be Sorthal and Elwin's turn, and you see that they're going to try to break through it as well.
They tried.
What?
After Sorthal's try, he's going to pull out his sword of justice for justice, and the sword is now drawn as it's kind of just now full voiced.
No! Why are you drawing that right now?
I thought I could just for justice. We will destroy these. But he's going to sheath the sword. As Elvin's just going to shake his head. I don't know how else to get through these bars. I thought my magical sword might be able to do some work on these things.
I'll come over there and try it. Mine won't be as loud, hopefully.
You see Elwin's actually going to push Sorthal back away from the door and kind of wag his finger at him, like, no more tries, like, you're done. And Sorthal's just going to be crabby and will go into the corner and just kind of pout and lean against the wall.
New York cries called L.
Use my magic sword.
So,
Everyone tells
Justice,
Sorthol
my
to do
ass.
something, and then I try to do something, and then
Yeah, right.
no Sorthol.
Sorthol jumps. Sorthol's trying to jump and he falls. Everyone's mad at Sorthol. So, so after them, it's going to go back to Rask, who is now standing side by side by Ivan, just making sure that he's still not being able to breathe.
Uh,
Oh, yeah, I didn't say that to him then.
No, you didn't.
uh,
In your head, you did. You're just hallucinating as you're
Yeah,
losing oxygen
apparently.
because of lack of oxygen.
man, Rask is tempted to jam his finger down Ivan's throat.
Whoa, kinky.
Whoa!
Because he doesn't really know what exactly happened. He kind of saw powder, and then I don't know.
Oh god, it's that kind of a party.
He points to the wall where you see a shriveled up dead flower kind of hanging out of the wall, but you can't really tell what it was or what it is anymore because of how obviously shriveled up and dead it is. It just looks like a little black pod.
Okay, can I try to wash off the rest of the powder from his face and stuff?
Yeah, you can try to wash it off with some water.
And I guess I'll give him the rest of my water
Okay.
and see if that will help. I don't know.
So you pour the water. Roll a Constitution check, Ivan, and roll disadvantage. Saving throw. I'm sorry, not a check.
Can I also use a medicine check to maybe see if I can recognize the flower and maybe what kind of poison it would have been?
You can roll a survival on the flower or a nature survival or a nature check on the flower.
I got a 6.
Okay.
You see that the water actually inflamed the infection even further. You can see that he's now gagging and he's thrashing. It's almost as if he's having a seizure, trying to breathe. You can now see that your supply has been completely wiped out. Damn it.
I'm shaking my hands furiously in the air.
18.
18.
Recognize
You
the
can tell
flower.
that this is some sort of poisonous flower that shuts down the like a very particular part of the nervous system, which controls the inflammatory system, and now it's just out of whack. And you can see that his entire body is swelling up, and blood is going everywhere. And you see blood is coming from his eyes and his nose as he's puffing up like a balloon.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Rip.
God, the only way I can think of is for someone to do just like force feed you air.
Do it, Rask. You're not a coward.
Rask is okay. Yeah, sure.
Proficient in CPR.
Yeah, CPR. This is a PSA against meth. No. Oh God.
Emergency tracheotomy.
We can.
All right, Rask. Well,
Which would you prefer?
You can see that the water just made it worse, but you're trying. You know, you're trying. You're experimenting. So it is now going to be Ivan's turn. Ivan, roll another Constitution saving throw.
With disadvantage?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Okay, 14.
You somehow reopen your airways just enough, but you can tell that if you don't get help immediately, you're going to lose air again.
Oh.
You barely hear Ivan let out 2 words, "Help me," as he reaches out to you, Rask, for air.
Oh my God.
You see he's still thrashing, moving around as his feet are kicking a puddle, and you're trying to like hold him still, but also give him air. And you kind of look frantically around for help, but you can see Orin and Rubik have ran off that way, and Sorthol and Elwin are arguing amongst themselves along the door.
Elwin.
Elwin's going to turn and look over to you as he kind of like looks over and then puts his finger to his mouth, but when he sees what's going on, he's going to stop and realize that, oh shit, and just kind of run over. Elwin's going to kneel down and he's going to try to put his finger to your neck to check your pulse, but he can't. He's going to hold out a dagger and put it in your hands, and in Elvish, he's going to say something to you.
What does it look like he's gonna do?
He's pointing to the dagger, asking you to hold it, and he's going to point to his neck where he's basically telling you to slowly stab him in the neck to relieve the pressure.
Oh God.
Elwin's a traitor.
Elwin's a traitor. Is Rubik's
Sure.
Nat 1. Just
All right,
If
let's
there was
do
ever
it.
a time to
So
roll
roll
that
Let's
one, it
go.
would be now.
Roll a medical check now. Try to
Medicine
relieve
check?
pressure on
Ivan's
Ivan's,
ready.
Okay.
Ivan's neck.
Are they talking this out as
Yes.
they're?
Yes.
But you can't hear. You
Yeah.
obviously don't understand what
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Elwin's saying. You just hear what Sorthal is kind of
Okay.
like saying to himself.
All right.
Rask doesn't want to fuck this up. Can I cast guidance, or is there not enough time?
Ivan doesn't want you to fuck this up.
You can try to. You won't be able to cast guidance now. You can either wait another turn, but you can see obviously Ivan does have
Nope,
air right
I'm
now.
just-
But
I'm
next
just
turn
gonna-
he might not.
I'm just gonna go.
Okay.
Instead of guidance, though, I'm gonna go ahead and use my rune and allow me to roll with advantage on a medicine check.
Yeah.
Nice.
You successfully puncture a small hole in the side of Ivan's neck, enough to where to drain the blood and relieve a lot of the pressure. You can see the swelling goes down immensely, and he can now get some relief, and he's now breathing a little bit better. But you can tell that he still needs to be treated some way or another. This is just a temporary fix for now, and
Thank you.
you can see that his eyes and nose are starting to swell down a little bit, and you bought him some time. Elwin smiles as he looks up to you. You see he's gonna pull out a small kit, and he's going to ask you to mash up this stuff in a mortar and pestle that he hands you. And you can see it's like a purplish blue flour that smells like, it basically smells like, in a sense, cat urine. So it smells very nasty.
All right. Well, Rask is gonna do as he asks. He doesn't know what else to do at this point.
Okay, so you do so. He actually pulls out his water canteen and pours a little in there too to make it softer. And then he points to you and like basically gestures himself picking it up out of the mortar and pestle and putting it into Ivan's mouth. And then he's basically telling you to close his mouth and make him eat it.
But it tastes nasty.
It's gonna taste horrific.
Rask nods in understanding and is glad that he doesn't have to be the one to eat it.
All right. You actually see Elwin's going to kind of like close his eyes as you do it. He's going to hold Ivan down. Both of you roll a strength check, Rask. And Ivan, you can tell that they're putting you down for now.
What do you want me to roll for a counter?
Counter, you're going to roll athletics or an acrobatics.
Okay. Acrobatics for sure.
Okay.
Like I want to succeed.
Right.
Only an 8.
13.
I believe you're also, because you're lying down, you'd actually get disadvantage on that
Maybe.
on checks.
Either way, they beat me.
So yeah, they hold you down. Roll another medicine check, Kuuretsu.
Oh shit!
Nat 20.
That's what we needed.
Nice. You are going
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Sir Ivan.
Did natural 1 again.
One!
You see that you save Ivan barely, but he is unconscious due to the pain. Elwin just rolls his eyes and he says something in Elvish, and Sorthal kind of chuckles. Dead weight.
Oh.
At least he's not dead.
Hey, if I sleep for 8 hours, I get all my spells back.
So
planned.
it seems you and Elwin have saved Ivan's life just barely.
Poison.
Ivan, you're gonna take 28 points of damage from all
Jesus
that.
Christ.
Rubik.
Yes.
Sorry. Now to you after Rask and Ivan's little
Let's go to fiasco.
yeah, little medical thing down there.
Even a kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle, yeah. Shenanigans.
Hullabaloo.
You see the squirrel is also, with all of his might, trying to use the chains to smack the bar that you're working on.
I don't know if you had a chance. I sent the tool thing to Andy's Discord.
Yeah, what is it?
Basically, it says for demolition, which I assume it's doing. Your knowledge of masonry allows you to spot weak points in brick walls. You deal double damage to such structures with your weapon attacks.
Oh, okay.
But then there's also a list: mason's tools, activity, chisel a small hole in a stone wall, DC 10, and find a weak point in a stone wall, DC 15.
All right.
So I don't know how you want to play it.
I'll let you roll first then to see if there's any weak points.
I assume that's just intelligence.
Yeah, that's what I'll put it towards for like looking and using your craft in a sense.
Yeah,
Like
and then I'm proficient, so you want me to add my proficiency bonus to the intelligence roll?
Yeah, because you're basically using your judgment as a craftsman.
Are you proficient with tools or
Yeah,
mason's?
masonry and smithing tools.
Yep. Do you get
So
a
that's going to
bonus
be an
for your
18.
Dwarven.
Oh yeah, you definitely see a weak spot. You can tell that the bottom of the bars, if you were to chisel those out, you would actually be able to lift them up a little bit and then pull them out one at a time, making it very easy to get, like basically making it very simple and time saving to get rid of these bars.
All right, so then I was using my warhammer and the chisel from my tool pack to do that. So I don't know if you want me to roll damage versus them or how you do that.
Oh well, you can use your tools or your weapons. It's up to you.
Would I know which one's faster? I mean, it's demolition, so I'm not
You
trying
would
to
think
sculpt
you
it.
would think you would think your tools would be the best use, but if you in a pinch, you could use your weapon for almost to near the same ability, but not the same precision.
I mean, could I use my chisel and hit it with my warhammer?
You could try.
Sure, I'll do that.
If it breaks, it wasn't a good enough chisel in the first place.
Exactly. What
All
would you
right.
like me to roll?
Just roll for an attack on the door.
Just do a standard attack.
And give yourself advantage, or don't give yourself advantage. Just keep it simple because you're basically
Straight
trying to
roll.
warhammer and hold the chisel at the same time.
All right, so just straight roll. So that's +4 +2.
Oren, you see this going on. Do you want to look through the rooms or do you want to go over to Rubik?
No, I'm just gonna keep heading over to Rubik.
Okay.
Maybe like do like a quick peek while I'm like running.
All right. I'll allow you to look at 2 rooms. Do you want to look at the 2 first rooms here, or?
Yeah, I'll look at these 2 on the left.
Okay. You look through this one and nothing. And you look through this one.
Oh, all the things.
You actually, when this one is revealed, you actually see that there is somewhat of a fresh body over right here, and you can actually see that they are actually holding some sort of book.
You gotta tempt me, don't you?
Oh man.
I'm like that apple pie in the Tom and Jerry the cartoon shows that would come out with like a floating hand and like whisper you over to it because I want you to eat me. Giggity.
Oren's gonna misty step into it.
So you try to misty step into the bars, and when you are through the bars, and you realize that there's some sort of magical barrier that is stopping you, and you actually bounce back, and you bounce into this one, bouncing you back onto the floor, taking
You motherfucker.
You turned into a pinball.
taking 8 damage, bludgeoning damage from being kind of pinballed around, like din din din, and you just kind of like hit the ground. You hear Terrell go, "Ow, my face!" as you landed on top of as you landed on your own face.
You motherfucker.
Oren just kind of looks at the door, very angry. You kind of look over as you see that, and Oren's on the floor, and you just kind of see him go, "Motherfucker," as he just stares at the door in front of him.
Yeah, I guess I'll just continue towards Rubik since I can't
Right, you
get
kind
in
of just
there.
defeatedly walk on towards Rubik, and you get near the door, and
Not
you see that
happy.
there is a chained up, half starved squirrel folk standing on the other side. Oh, who's that? Is that your friend?
Yes, it's a friend. Quiet now.
Of course, my lord. Sorry.
Ching, 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 ching.
What'd you get for attack?
9.
9. So you swing away, and you can see that you're having a really hard time holding the chisel and hitting the hammer.
Perfect. Warren, come over here. Hold this chisel.
How
That
heavy is
laugh.
the chisel?
That diabolical.
So
laugh.
maniacal.
Just, oh, it reminds me of like something that happened one time too.
Something that happened one time too.
Yeah, at work. I hit my coworker in the head.
Nice.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Wow.
It's okay. Not as hard as I hit Mr. Hibbs with the baseball bat.
Nice. Does the chisel weigh less than 5 pounds?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and hold it.
Well done, sir. So you do so, and you hang on to the chisel. Rubik, you can now actually get advantage with that. So roll for another attack.
I'll like angle it, like adjust the angle of the hand a little bit, and like good, and then I'll just I'll reckless attack the chisel.
Already had advantage.
Yeah,
well I mean
Double advantage.
double advantage.
He wants the chisel to get an advantage on him.
All right, here we go. So it's gonna be 16,
16. All right, roll for damage.
which is just d8 plus 6 plus the same. 12 damage.
12 damage. You actually you bust out the stone and the concrete mold that was around the bar. You can actually now probably by next turn you could probably try to break off some of that stuff with another swing, some of the rock around it, or the rock around it. You could probably free it in the turn after that with Orin's help as well.
Sweet.
So you you see that the chisel's probably no longer needed. You could just probably hit it again with your hammer.
I'm happy to do that now.
He's asking him to do that now.
Yeah.
12. To attack.
Roll for damage again.
7. Technically, I can re-roll that because I'm using it two-handed.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
no, never mind. It's not the two-handed property. I lied.
Oh,
It has to be two-handed property. It's
Oh, okay.
versatile property. 7 damage.
7. Okay. So you smack the bottom of the bar, and you can see that you finally free it, and moving it, kind of like you can see it's vibrating and moving around freely. And the squirrel folk seems very optimistic at this point after he sees that you've already freed one of the bars within less than a minute or so. That's ingenious, dwarf. It is true what they say about your people. You must be children of the stone.
Yeah. And I just grab the bars and just shake the shit out of them. Just
Orin kind of steps back as you're just violently jiggling the bar back and forth. And so does the squirrel, because he does not want to get hit.
He's furious.
So you're working on getting the bar out. Back over to you guys down here. Rask, what would you like to do?
I guess he's gonna bandage up his neck.
Okay. You see that Elwin's going to stand back up and go back towards the door. Roll for another medical check or medicine.
Yeah, I may as well just use the advantage on it because I don't.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
I said I may as well use the advantage on that too.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as I don't have to roll, it should be okay.
It's 23.
23.
Yes.
You wrap up his neck and you stop the bleeding, and you can see that the swelling is still bad, but not as bad as it was, where it was causing him pain and restriction. You can tell though that pretty soon you're going to need to help him just drag him along until that medicine kicks in.
Okay. Can I pick him up then?
Yeah, you can pick him up. Roll a strength check.
Let me just accidentally drop him.
Yeah, right.
15.
You pick him up with ease. You can see he's pretty light. His gear is what's kind of heavy as it sways.
I'm gonna steady his gear with a hand so it doesn't make too much noise and walk over to Elwyn and them.
So you, where do you want to walk him over? Exactly? Just anywhere near?
I was
right.
just gonna, yeah.
Okay.
I need to make up a poos.
All right.
I'll be unconscious for my turn.
All right. So you get him over there, and you see that Elwyn's going to try to work on the door, and you can see that he has taken out a small, like, it almost looks like a small like hand pick, and you can see that he's picking away at one of the bars down below. And he's trying to be quiet about it. Then he stops. He takes a look, and like you can see that he's just listening for anything. And then he kind of goes at it again.
Can help?
He nods to you and he says, "If you have the tools to do it, then yeah, I would definitely appreciate the help."
Chisels, right? Or a pick.
Either or. He shrugs. I'm using my own hand pick. I don't have a chisel. Sarthal looks over and he's going to repeat what he's going to say something else to Elwyn as he's obviously talking between you two.
Yep.
And Sarthal says he also Elwyn says if you have anything, even a weapon can do damage to can do damage to these things, but be not as accurate and a little bit more wasteful of energy. So it's better to take your time and be quiet and move slowly.
Rask has a crowbar.
You see Elwyn's eyes light up at the sight of a crowbar and smiles as he points, and you see that he's pointing on the bar, right in the middle, and he's going to point to all three of you, and he's going to like kind of gesture like bending it back at the same time. He points to Ivan and tells you to sit him down along the wall, or right in the middle, so that way he doesn't get poisoned by another flower again.
Yeah. All right. Rask is going to very carefully put him down and hand him the crowbar to position for us to work on.
All right. So you set him down and you walk over to help basically crowbar that bar open, and you guys are still working up here on this door. We will take a break right here. Let everybody use the bathroom for 10 minutes. Come back in about 10 minutes. Players, listeners, thanks for coming in and listening so far. If you want to bear with us for 10 minutes, we're just gonna let everybody take a quick bathroom break, get some food.
I'll put the away card up so that people don't need to worry about audio.
So after everything that's been going on, we'll go back to Orin and Rubik's group up here. You guys still seem to be dealing with trying to get this bar removed. So Rubik, you want to basically wiggle the bar right out?
Yeah, Rubik's gonna violently shake it.
Okay. Roll for yeah, roll a strength check for me.
Strength check. Straight strength? Yeah. Oh shit, where'd my stuff go? +4. Advantage. Straight 20.
Straight 20, you said?
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20. All right. You tear the bar right out of the top of the post that or the hole that it sets it in. You can see that as you do, you kind of like jab it into the ground down below where the concrete and rock were once surrounding it, and then you lift it upwards towards you in the ceiling, and now you have one bar completely free, and you're holding it kind of like it almost looks like the size of a pike if you were holding it, but there's no like sharp end at it, just a rusty bar that's been implanted in there.
Oh, I like wedge it in between like the other bars to use it as like a leverage tool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like around the one and like through the other, and then I'll like I'm just yanking forward and back like just.
All right. You do all your might. You're trying to shake this bar free, and roll me another strength check. Orin, do you want to help?
Nope.
I
Nope.
need your assistance. 23.
You completely bend another bar out, and you can see the squirrel folk seems optimistic. Maybe I can try to get out now. I'm very small. I can try to squeeze through, as long as my head can fit.
Does it appear like someone would be able to fit through that?
Yeah, you can see that he's very small, especially from not eating too much. He looks very thin. And you can see that just in general, he's only about 4 point. He's 4'8", so he's not that.
He's the same height as me.
Do you consider yourself tall?
I'm like slightly above average for a dwarf.
He's slightly below average for a squirrel folk, and he's covered in chains. So
He's having a good day.
yeah.
Rubik waits for him to try to make his way through, and he digs around in his sack.
You decide to take the bar out of the between the other ones and set it aside, or do you want to hang on to it?
Yeah, I just kind of set him aside for a second as I'm digging in my pouch of stuff to find something pointy for him.
Okay. So he's going to try to break free, as they say. And he does. He gets right through. He has a little time struggling at first because the chains actually hold him up, and then eventually he pops through. Very excitedly and happily, he looks at both of you and says, "Thank you so much, my friends. I will repay you with my life."
You'll repay us in the lives of elves.
And he kind of he nods. As you can tell, he's not much of a warrior, but is willing to help fight.
And
Yes,
literally have like no weapons.
I will need help getting rid of these chains, and I do need something to eat and drink. I'm very, very, very lightheaded, and I've been sick for several days. They've been not feeding me. It's almost as if they've forgotten about me.
I gave him a A blood dagger. Where'd this come from? No. I can't do
The Raven Queen has her new.
that. She has heard the call of follower seeks.
I'm gonna pull a short sword, a trail ration, and my water skin out of my bag and hand them to him.
You see he tears up and looks at you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. He falls to his knees and starts eating and drinking. He kind of eats quickly but slows down and realizes that he doesn't want to get sick, so he's slowly eating now. Please forgive me. I just need a moment of time to eat this.
Yeah. Rubik, why do we wait? Do you think we can break into that room behind us? And I point to this room.
Could someone try to remove these chains from me as well?
Look first.
Rubik was like digging around in his pouch looking for like a smaller weapon for this dude because he doesn't think he's gonna do great with like great axes or great hammer. The things for small people weapons. So, but he's gonna just like as he's digging around, just kind of has like a couple like rotten ears, and he's like splatters them on the ground like they're all gross, and then pulls out the great axe that he had come across in his pack and just I'm gonna hit the chains. Straight. Reckless. 19.
To what are you looking for to remove the?
To break the chain. Sorry.
Yeah. What are you using?
A great axe, or just a standard non-magical
you
great axe.
basically you put your foot on the lock that's at the bottom of the chains, and you hold your foot down. You slam your axe down right on top of the lock, and twist it, and you see that you break the lock right open. Now that the chains are loose enough, and they kind of like fall off around him since he's basically skin and bones. Thank you, my lord.
Eat and take up weapons. We shall free more people.
Do you want to go over to this door that?
Follow Warren over.
Begrudgingly, you follow Orin over there, and you look inside, and you see that no one is there but a dead body right here.
Yeah.
Perception check.
Roll for perception.
22.
You look around the room, and you can see that there are rats and bugs covered on the body, and they're just kind of walking about on top of the rancid body, and you can see there's a couple bones and some puddles in the room as well. Down the hallway, you can hear the echoes of your comrades talking as well.
I looked at Warren and be like tap my head and be like, a food source. Excellent thinking. Quite.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking.
That's. I hand his ghostly hand my chisel and prepare for destruction of more things.
Do you want to? Is your mage hand still up?
I'll resummon it.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's just a cantrip.
You snap your finger, and your mage hand reappears, and it grabs the chisel again that Rubik is holding out in his hand, kind of just like waiting for someone to take it, and it instantly flies down to the bottom like it knows the route.
And I adjusted just to like a few degrees again, and be like, I showed you last time, this like this, and and then I go ahead and swing.
All right, roll for another attack.
Get it, Dan.
Reckless 22. Or I'm sorry, 20. Just regular 20.
With an advantage?
Yeah.
Well, I can reckless anytime I want, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to rage to reckless attack.
So reckless.
So you swing your hammer down, and you definitely hit. Roll for damage, and how much was it?
It's 13 damage.
You actually bend the bar inward and destroy a bunch of the concrete and rock that are surrounding the base of it.
Good.
You see that the hand moves on to the next bar down below.
Okay.
that one episode of
It tastes so
Seinfeld.
bad. What is that smell? That taste?
That is all you can taste. It is putrid. It's like you puked several times and haven't brushed your teeth in a long.
I am just ew. I'm going to take out a trail ration it to like an apple pie.
Okay.
Like really strong cinnamon, got some nutmeg in there.
Roll an Arcana check.
23.
You still taste the bad taste.
Does it
This is terrible.
You all, Rest. You kind of hear quietly Ivan just like kind of like keep spitting and just like in frustration of that nasty taste. You see he's trying everything he can to get rid of it, swishing water. You even see that he goes to the means of picking up like a part of like his jacket and just starts chewing on it and like licking the leather to try to get rid of it. Nothing seems to be working. You see it's driving him mad. Already the first 5 minutes, and he just can't stand it. You see Ellen's gonna walk over and hand you a piece of bread. And he basically says in Elvish, "Eat."
Before he even says that, I eat it.
As you eat it, it even tastes worse. It almost tastes like you're re-eating that stuff again. You actually vomit.
Rask is just very glad it's not him.
Elwin steps back and looks back at the door as he's just kind of like 2 bars in already to getting most of it chiseled away. He points to Rask and he says, "Get the last bar," as he's kind of panting and trying to take a break.
Okay. Rask takes over, grabs the crowbar, and I guess
Oh wait, yeah,
pushes?
all 3 of you are gonna roll. Roll a strength check for me, actually. Ooh, that's good.
Dirty 20.
Dirty
20.
20, yeah.
You bend the last bar, and you actually bend all 3 of them at once to lift up, and you can actually now all 3 of you can, or anybody can now like crawl between the 3 bars to get through to the other side of the door. And Elwin and looks at Sorthal and says something in Elvish, and Sorthal says, "We did it, and now we can get through the next part of the cells, which I believe he said is the civilian quarters." So as Ivan's going mad with the taste of nastiness in his mouth, the 3 of you successfully get through the next area of the jail. Up top again with Orin and Rubik's group, and now the new squirrel folk that they have just gathered as a friend. Rubik, you have now blasted through the second part of the bars with your second roll. Roll for damage.
Kapow! 12 damage.
Again, you bend you basically nail it perfectly again, nailing the bar inward and bending it, and even destroying a bunch of the concrete and stone around the base of it.
Does it appear to be equally as damaged as the last ones?
Yes.
I grab a hold and just shake the shit out of it until it comes free.
Roll another strength check. Orin, do you want to help him in any way, or do you want to just stay back and watch him so you don't get hurt?
Yeah, I'll give him a hand.
All right, you can roll a strength check as well.
11.
5.
You guys are trying to shake him, but Rubik, you're actually kind of out of breath, and you realize you need to take a break before you can keep going. And Orin, you try, but you realize these bars are super heavy and really tough. And you kind of look over at Rubik and wonder how he's doing this by himself.
I yell at him to get out of my way. You're messing me up.
And you see that Rubik kind of like gets mad at you, Orin, as he can't do it either, and kind of like takes it out on you. And the squirrel folk says, "Now take it easy, friends. No reason to yell at each other."
You there, be quiet and eat your food. You must gain your strength back to spread the blood of the elves.
The squirrel folk kind of like lowers his ears and his tail as he's very intimidated by your words. "Oh, yes, my lord, of course. Forgive me." And he's going to just slowly eat the trail ration you gave him, Orin. He's gonna hand you back your canteen though after you drink about half of it.
Okay.
Rubik turns back towards his nemesis.
His nemesis.
The door.
While this is happening, Rask is offering Ivan a jerkied version of a elven finger.
I take it. I mean,
Okay.
I take anything right now. This is the worst.
It's like
You
drenched in
try
salt.
that, tastes bad.
Why?
Elwin
I'm just gonna try to,
Elwin
like-
Elwin looks to Sorthal and kind of chuckles, and Sorthal says, "You might taste that taste for about a week," he said. "Sometimes 2 weeks if you have really sensitive taste buds."
Maybe I'll die in this in this castle.
Elwin chuckles and says something else, and Sorthal says, "You're lucky to be breathing. You're lucky to be alive. Rask and Elwin saved your life."
Thank you both. I appreciate it.
Elwin
try not-
nods.
I'll try not to be so clumsy from now on.
And Elwin says something, and Sorthal says, "Yeah, don't try to be like Sorthal. Hey,
Oh.
that's me." And he looks at Elwin and just gets mad at him. Why would you say that?
Okay, let's just. Okay, we're Rubik, Orin.
They're still down the other hallway. It sounds like they've been freeing people.
Oh, good. And I'll just walk back a touch, just so I can see. Oh, I mean it's super dark. I can't see anyway.
Yeah, you
I still do it.
Okay. Rubik and Orin, both of you guys try to roll to get the bars free again. But Orin, it's up to you. Since Rubik yelled at you last, if you really want to.
I'm just gonna stand out of his way,
Okay.
cramping his style.
Roll a strength check, Mr.
He's
Rubik.
gonna rage before he rage again before he strikes. And he's gonna shake the shit out of him. Yeah, 13.
You bend one of the bars, but the other bar is still just as damaged as it was with the chisel. But you don't seem to have any luck moving it at all or getting it out of its place.
I pull the chisel back out and throw it to Orin.
His magical hand appears right in front of him and grabs it before it hits him. And then it flies down. And it's actually going to go to the bottom, but you see it doesn't know where to go at the bottom since there's no more ground and the bar is no longer connected.
I move it to the top.
The top of where it's connected to the top of the.
Yeah, I
okay,
kind of like push it up with my hammer a little bit, like with
Okay.
the handle, and be like, right.
It gives you a thumbs up and then like hold still.
I'm gonna go ahead and swing at it.
As you do roll for attack, and Orin, the squirrel folk looks over at you and says, "That's your magical properties. That's what you can do with your magic, right?"
Yeah, that's one of the things I can do.
So amazing. That little hand can do all that. Is it your hand, or is it just a ghost hand, or whose hand is it?
It's just magical hand.
Man, he seems to kind of like think about that for a moment. Rubik, what'd you get for your attack?
Oh, I can re-roll that. Thank you, Jay, for that. Hold
Yeah,
on.
no problem.
Let me find out if I get higher. Oh, I'm sorry. I can re-roll damage, not attack. Oh shit. 8.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm remembering things. 8 to attack.
You swing and you actually just nick the top of the chisel. You can see that the spark caused from everything kind of startles the squirrel folk, and the hand kind of like shakes its finger at you, like to do better.
If steam could blow from Rubik's ears, it would be happening right now.
Minor illusion.
It doesn't mitigate his anger any. It makes it worse. So much worse.
Rubik, do you want to swing again, or do you just want to stand there in frustration as you look defeated?
Rubik just rebelts his hammer and pushes the chisel out of the way, and he's just gonna cut the fucking iron bars with the sword and pulls his greatsword out and swings with that.
All right. In frustration,
Now
you
it's
knock
truly
that-
like Sorthal.
In frustration, you pull out your sword, and the hand disappears as the chisel falls to the ground. And you toss your hammer back onto your back, and you just whip your sword out and just swing at it. Roll for
Yeah,
attack.
I attack. 16.
You hit. Damage.
31 damage.
You basically cut through the top 3 bars.
And before they hit the ground, I resheathe as I turn and pick up my chisel.
All
And clank,
samurai
clank, 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 clank.
style, you cut the bar.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Dwarven Samurai Jack, I love it.
Or and you see this happen, and you see Rubik just kind of sheath his sword as the bars fall inward, 1, 2, 3 at a time, just kind of like dish, dish, dish.
Just gonna do a little golf clap.
Are you sure it's not the true anime way where you sheath the sword and then all the cuts
Oh,
happen?
and then it falls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how it
Ching,
should
and then they break.
Yes.
Spends like 3 seconds sheathing it, and then they fall.
You
Does it
missed.
flash
No,
too?
did I?
Doesn't happen until then, so he just keeps it barely
Yeah.
unsheathed. It just keeps walking around.
And
then
the
just,
last sound you hear, you just kind of hear like a click as it's fully sheathed.
Perfect. I
So-
am anime Rubik. Samurai of the
Samurai
Dwarven.
Rubik. Then it goes back to the regular animation.
Samurai of the dwarven variety.
So you cut the bars and you kind of walk away. Orin, do you want to go inspect the room? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and check out that book.
As he runs by me, I say, "You owe me a rat.
Okay.
I'm hungry."
All right. So as Rubik says that, the squirrelfolk kind of gulps as he knows that he's from the rodent family, and
You're our emergency
and
food.
you see that he looks to you, Orin. He says, "Please find him the biggest rat." And you
No,
walk
wouldn't
in,
that
Orin.
be
You see
you?
the rats don't really pay you much mind, but they do notice that you're there. How are you going to grab one?
Are you gonna grab a rat first?
I mean, can I cast frostbite on one of them?
You're more than welcome to.
Hell yeah.
Ew.
Get it pulled up real quick.
I think DC of a rat is like 8.
Yes.
Gotta make a con saving throw.
Crushes it. Sorry.
No.
Terrible.
yeah, right. Rolls nat 20.
It's
Absorbs.
gotta be the
spell.
17, by the way.
Does it turn
Absorbs it.
into a giant rat icicle?
No, no.
Oh, rat popsicle, a dwarven delicacy.
16 damage.
Reminds me
You
of the
basically
summer times
freeze
at home.
You basically freeze the rat from the inside out, and you see that it is completely frozen, like almost like it was in a freezer for just like almost a year and a half of time. It's just solid, and you see all the other rats scurry away as you freeze the one on top of the body.
Perfection. I'm just gonna
So you
leave it
freeze
there
it.
for the moment. I'm gonna go over to the book.
You go over to the book, and you see that the person was clenching it, and actually has his hands and arms sewn to the book.
Can I do a quick Arcana check on it?
Yes, you can.
Dedication. What does he like? Turn the page with his nose?
Yes.
Maybe it was sewn to him by other people.
Boom.
I mean, even if then, I'd still want to read the book.
That's true.
24.
You on an Arcana check?
Yeah.
You can tell this book actually is a book of necromancy.
Yes,
Hell yeah. Number 2.
Is it the next volume?
I hope so.
You're not really too sure. You can see that he's
the
clenching the
unrated
book so
version.
tightly that you can only see parts of it. But it is a very large book.
Alright. Orin's going to. You said his hands are sewn to the book?
His hands and arms are completely sewn to the book, like
Uh.
very finely stitched, like every, almost like it would be. It's gonna take a lot of time to not damage the book, and basically unstitch his arms from it.
Would it just be quicker to cut his arms off?
Probably at this point. That's what you could assume as you think this idea.
Orange just gonna cut his arms off and then deal with the rest of the problem later.
All right.
Oh, God.
Roll for a. Let me see. Roll for a survival check to basically kind of cleave and like you're kind of butchering this human's arms off, and not to try to damage the book or take any extra arm with you.
Mention that
14.
conversation later.
14. You get pretty close to actually damaging the book at one point, but eventually you get both arms off. You see that there's quite a bit of blood still draining out, but as you let it dry, as you soak for a minute, you can see Rubik is standing out there just kind of watching you butcher this book. Or not butcher the book, butcher the arms off this body.
As he looks back and catches Rubik's eye, Rubik just gives a curt nod in approval, and like continues to like stand guard near the door entry.
Orin's gonna grab the frozen rat and toss it to him too.
I catch it without looking, and
You just begin to eat the frozen rat. No problem
yeah.
at all.
Ratsicle.
it's like a treat.
It's like ice cream but better.
Got some arms for
Or
days.
the ice cream, ice cream man.
I have a black tunic in my bag. I'm gonna
Okay.
pull that out and like wrap the book with it,
All right.
and then put it in my bag.
When you finally see that the body flips over, you actually see that the person's eyes and mouth were also sewn shut, and you can see that as it flips over, you actually hear almost like whispers begin to reveal itself, and then it stops and begins to kind of like see like a burst of like wind kind of like rattle around the body and hits you with almost like a burst of energy, and then it grows quiet and very silent.
Can't even read.
All right. I'm gonna head out and then start heading back down to everyone else.
Okay. Rubik, do you wish to follow?
Yes, I'll follow him.
All right. These guys are now heading down to the other group. Ivan, you eventually see them all approaching.
Oh, good. You're back. Oh, you guys found somebody. Who's that?
Hello there. They saved my life. These are my lords. I owe them my life.
Ooh, you look pretty malnourished. Have you eaten recently?
They gave me a trail ration. I should take it slow before I eat any more. But I am still quite hungry.
I see you've met our new bloodthirsty friend. This squirrel folk is ravenous for elven blood. Am I right?
Here, my lord. As he hesitates and kind of stutters.
I mean, one's better than nothing. I'm glad we at least found something down here. Do we have that door open yet?
Elwin nods as he points to all three bars that have been bent like upwards, and everybody can easily like kind of like hunch through and get over to the other side.
Let's get going then. Coin must have went one of these ways. It was a dead end that way, right, Rubik?
Yes, it ended over there. There's nothing else that way. We must keep moving forward. This way. And I'll move forward, and then as I walk past Ivan, I hand out the part of the chunk of the frozen rat and be like, snack?
I mean, honestly, it's looking too... No, I can't. And I'm still just gonna kind of look
I shrug.
disgusted, honestly. Like,
I shrug and keep walking past, just gnawing on the frozen rat.
But Ivan could have had one hand with a finger and one hand with a chunk of rat.
well, after like the third or fourth thing that I've eaten, I've kind of realized other foods aren't gonna help.
I just realized our party's like a bunch of foodies.
Yeah, I have lots of food, but we're very picky.
Yeah.
Let's get going then. Elwin, maybe you should go first.
He nods his head, and he's going to go through.
And I'll kind of just like walk up towards the door.
Soto's going to go next.
Rask will follow.
Rubik and Orna, I'm assuming you want to walk through now?
Yeah.
The squirrel folk looks to you guys and he says, "My lords, perhaps I should stay back and guard the entrance."
There's no entrance here. There's only an exit, and there's only one way forward, and that's out.
Yes, my lord, forgive me. And he bows his head again.
What's your name?
Deucid.
Bushy Tail. All right, Bushy Tail.
No, my name is.
You are an honorary member of the Round Stump, and we shall stop the summoning of a greater demon that could destroy the world as we know it. You shall spill much elf blood in the name of the Round Stump.
You
I
mean the
pat
bone
him on the
collectors?
back. What'd he say?
You said the round stump, but you mean the bone collectors.
No, yes, they're the same. These are in the name of the Round Stump. Let us be known. Yes, in the name of the Bone Collectors. My apologies.
That's all right. I love the passion, and I know everybody else did. Thank you.
Nobody likes elves here either.
No. Elwin just kind of gives you a blank stare as he turns around and stares at you for just a brief moment, then turns his head back. So you guys are gonna press on forward. And you see that there's still just darkness ahead, and more of these cells all over the place.
You said Dusan, right?
Yes, my lord. My name is Dusan, or as my actual lord preferred it, Bushi.
Have you heard them talking about anything in here? Can you understand them?
No, no.
What? Okay. Do you know anything about this area? You were brought in.
They told me that they were going to use me for something, some sort of sacrifice. That's all I heard them say.
Well, where did they bring you in from?
From the main entrance.
Do you remember where that is?
No, I was bagged.
Well, let's pick an area and start going. We need to free more people as it is.
You see, Elwin seems very nerved that no guards have appeared yet, or nothing has appeared. Sorthal says it shouldn't be this empty. He said there should be some sort of prisoners or something. I mean, there was already this fellow left behind. We have to be careful, though. Should we move as a group and go which way? Forward or up? Sorthal says as he looks up and looks to the side. Or there's down. There is a door as well. We could try to go through.
I look at the ground, and I'll inspect around like the intersection, if that makes sense.
You can see that there's been a couple of footprints, but you can roll either a survival or an investigate to find out further of how many and more like.
Also, where is Rubik, by the way?
You're in the center of that group.
Roughly?
Yep. You're,
Okay. Yes. You want investigation? You said.
yeah.
5. This way. For certain. And I will roll a d6. Evens and upwards and odds.
All right. Darn, we got stabbed.
Sorry,
All right,
up
thank
on
you.
my end.
All right, I'm gonna try to fix that. Thank you, Carnes.
Message one of us when you're.
To the right. That's the way Rubik decides.
All right. To the right it is. You see that Sorthal just kind of stares up at the hallway. He says, I'll stay right here and make sure no one comes from above us and flanks us.
All right.
I'll catch up if you guys keep moving and finding more ground.
Don't get out of earshot.
You do the same. Don't leave me in this dark area. He looks around nervously. So we will go off with the same initiative. So Rasky will go first.
Okay. So this is not a cell door. Or is a cell door?
It's not a cell door, but it is a giant double wooden door with like little, like you can see that, like, you know, those sliding blocks that people can look through to see who's there. Well, you can see that they're on the other side of this door, and they are both closed.
Can I try and open it from this side?
Sure.
All right.
Sorry about that. This mic is really overly sensitive sometimes.
It's all good, man. Just glad it's okay now.
Do I need to roll something?
What are you trying to do? Open the door?
No, I'm trying to slide the slot open.
Roll a strength.
Not 23, 3.
Ooh. That was close to a 1 there.
That was very close to a 1. 10.
Okay. 10? All
Yeah.
right. So you kind of use your hands, and luckily it's actually unlocked, and you do so, and you look down the hallway, and you can see it's very dark.
Same of the magical dark.
Yep. And you just notice that it's a long, dark hallway. Very eerie looking.
Hmm. Hallway. I kind of turn back around and like open door.
Oh, you want to try to open the door?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try and open the door.
Okay, you reach for the handle, and you actually, when you pull the trigger, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, nice.
18.
18.
Yes.
You instantly grab the handle, and you feel a jolt of electricity surge through the metal handlebar, and you let go before it blasts your hand. You can see that the handlebar itself actually explodes into little pieces and just kind of doesn't really shrapnel you, but it flies into everybody's kind of cloak, and Orin and Rask. You kind of take the blunt of some of the shrapnel a little bit. It doesn't do any damage. It might just cut you a little, but that's about it.
Oh,
And it made a loud sound.
Yes, it made actually a slight explosion,
Just gonna hold really still and see if I hear anybody come running or anything. I assume everyone else does too, because that probably scared the shit out of them.
yes.
And that's my turn.
See that it's just very quiet. No one's saying anything. Just very eerie, and everyone's just kind of on guard. You see, Elwyn looks to you, Rubik, as if what should we do? Do we just stay here, or should we just keep moving? Or should we go that way? As he looks to the door, and he kind of leans his head forward to gesture towards it.
Zorthal saying this?
Sorthal, yeah, is basically an interpret or what's the word? Yeah, interpreting what Elwyn is saying. Translating. Thank you.
So the northern door are we talking about, or the southern door?
He's talking about the door that Rask is working on.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Rubik had made his decision, and this way is definitely the way he should go, to the east, or on the map. This way for certain, and stomps off this way a little bit. Just
Okay.
let's move as a group.
So, Rask, do you want to keep going through that door, or do you want to wait for the rest of your ally?
Rask has done enough. He's made enough loud noises as is, so he's just gonna kind of hunch down a little bit, seem kind of defeated, and walk with them.
You step away from the door with the rest of your movement speed. Do you want to walk down the hallway?
Yeah.
Okay. Where were you? You only moved 5. You can give me the rest of your movement speed if you want.
So I was probably right here, right?
Right here.
So 10, 30 is probably around here.
You only move 5, so you get an extra. You get whatever else you move.
Okay. So 25.
Right here.
Yeah.
Right. You reveal more of the area, seeing that there is now another tunnel
Secret
up this way.
tunnel.
You also notice that as soon as Rask walks away, this door here now opens slowly, making a creaking noise.
Shit.
The one time my chair barely squeezed it off. So disappointing. The chair's usually so loud.
It sounds like a door.
Anyways,
This is a pretty well-oiled door.
so the door creaks open, just kind of. There we go. And
Yes.
the door opens up, and you kind of feel like a draft of cold air kind of rush into this hallway instead. Still Rast's turn finishing. Rast, would you like to do anything else?
Can I check to see if there's any disturbed ground on this side? Or if it's as dusty as it was back there?
Roll an investigate or a survival.
Survival. 23.
You begin to look around, and you can tell that there have been quite a few footsteps going this way. Going this way in particular, and this way in particular.
Cool. I relay this information to the party.
And back, obviously, the way you can.
Yeah.
You see Rask is checking the ground ahead of everybody, and he relays this information.
Which one was the first direction I saw? This one and this one?
And this way.
Oh, that way. Oh, okay.
Or I'm sorry, not this way. I apologize, not this way. There's no footsteps going this way.
Okay. So just these two directions?
Yep.
Okay. Are you done then, Rask?
Yes.
I will move 30 feet up.
Okay. You see a bat kind of fly past you and flies up to the ceiling again and flies away.
Got me. I'm kind of just looking up. Can I see? I mean, I'm assuming I just see hallway.
Yeah. Oh, you actually look forward and you see that there is more of an area.
Still nothing. Not even a doorway. Just another hallway here. And I'm just gonna keep like my Ivan will dash and move here.
Okay. So you see Ivan kind of impatiently just like, you know what, I'm just going to move forward. It doesn't seem like anybody's noticed stuff from that explosion. Just keep moving onward. And you see that there's another hallway up ahead, up to the north again.
Another hallway to the left up here.
You see Sorthal is now nervous and is going to move forward. To here.
And that'll be my turn.
Too many places we can get ambushed. We have to be careful.
Try to keep a pretty tight group then.
It will now be Rubik's turn. Rubik, you want to press forward, I assume?
I'll slow down a bit.
Rubik's going to. He will dash, and he's going to move here. Screw it.
Alright, Rubik dashes forward into the darkness, not even caring really what's in front of him.
Okay.
He eventually gets close to a corridor, and you see now, Rubik, you are in front of a door. Faced with the same type of jail door, but you actually see this door is it's actually more reinforced and looks much more difficult to get through.
The footprints, do they look like they continue, or are they heavier in this like little section right here?
Roll survival or investigate.
Sure. Shit, dice roll.
All of you roll perception check.
Which one would you like me to roll first, sir?
Roll perception check, then give me your investigate or survival.
Or got a 1.
19 perception.
Ooh, Rax got a net.
Ooh.
Damn.
All over the board.
What'd you get, Rubik, for your perception?
Perception was 19, and a investigate will be 21.
Okay. Ivan, what'd you get for perception?
9.
So, Oren, everybody hears a scream. Just kind of like a gut-wrenching scream of a woman shrieking off in the distance. and Orin, it actually reminds you of someone you know, and you kind of almost kind of have a breakdown for a moment, and you kind of panic, and when you look down in your pocket, you actually realize Terrell is gone.
Oh no.
Can we tell like the general direction, like behind us or in front of us? Or...
In front of you guys,
Okay.
in front of where Rubik is.
Does it sound like what I don't know? Does it sound like more human or more like animalistic or
Human female.
Okay.
But Orin, luckily you realize that she is sitting on your shoulder.
Yeah.
So you have the panic attack for nothing.
Son of a bitch.
Ras, you actually notice on the ground that there is a jeweled dagger covered in what looks to be old clothes and rotten body of a skeleton
Whereabouts?
directly in front of you.
In the center of the hallway. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Guess he's gonna take it.
All right, you
But
pick
very
it up
careful.
and you see that there's kind of some nasty sludge all over, and you wipe it off, and you see the jewels are very beautiful, mostly sapphires and diamond.
Is there anything that could identify it as a particular?
You notice
Maybe.
that there is a seahorse encrusted on the like basically like right on this the handle, the end of the handle of the dagger, and on the hilt or on the sheath or the scabbard of the dagger itself.
Mhm. Would I recognize that from anywhere?
Roll a knowledge check. Wisdom
Intelligence.
or yeah, intelligence, I should say.
Oh God.
Ooh.
Wow, nice roll.
18.
Really nice roll.
Yeah.
So you just kind of like think very very deep into thought of where you would remember this symbol, and you actually do recall seeing this long time ago belonging to a merfolk kingdom that usually had the seahorse as their logo and their emblem. Obviously like a very great and large spanning kingdom of merfolk, but you do recall seeing this emblem long ago after your father told you of a group of traders that used to run with these merfolk long ago in a very large ocean when he was a young lad.
Hmm. The skeleton is. It's a skeleton, but is there anything defining about it?
You see the clothes and armor are too far gone, and this bone structure has been brittle and broken, and you accidentally have actually stepped on the skull of the person you're like walking over and found the dagger on. So there's not too much left to determine what it was,
Okay.
unless you
Well,
want to roll an investigate or survival check.
I will do it for the sake of finding things out.
Okay, roll
Survival.
for it.
14.
Yeah, it's just too far gone to really.
Okay. Rask is gonna like move his foot away and kind of like offer a small prayer for the body
Okay.
and apologize for stepping on it.
I forgive you. No, I'm just kidding. So you see Rask just kind of finds something off the ground, puts it in his pocket, and starts praying to this body. It's like that Rask is discovered in the floor. And Sorthal looks and says, "I'm sorry. Was it a friend of yours you know?"
No.
Oh.
Stepped on skull accident.
It is now going to be after Rubik has run forward. Rubik, did you want to do anything else?
I mean, I ran forward and then like searched the ground. I guess this appeared to be like a busy area.
Oh yeah, you're investigate. Yeah, you can tell that there is traffic from here to here.
Which way is heavier? Because I thought like there was traffic this way, right?
Yep,
And then there's
there's still traffic coming. There's basically so there's traffic going here,
right.
traffic going here, traffic going here.
Does Okay, so like this portion right here appears to be like the heaviest traffic we've seen so far.
Seems like that's where everything is coming from. Yes.
And do I see any lights or hear anything from the door in front of me?
No. Well, actually, you can if you want to walk up to the door on your next turn, you can. But
Uh, not
unless you,
just yet. I turn back and say to the rest of the party, so someone check the side hallway. There may be more prisoners that way. And then I approach the door cautiously.
break it
You're
up a little
breaking
bit.
up.
Oh, hold on. I'll reset. All right, back in the green.
Good, sir.
I can hear you
Good.
fine.
All right. I tell the rest of the party to check the
Still
side
breaking up.
passage. I'm still breaking up.
I got the gist of what you said. I'm on it. I'll get there.
I'm hearing you fine.
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you
I
fine.
think it might be you guys.
Yeah, I'm at green bars. And then I approach the.
Hello, hello. Dan, say something.
Check, mic check, sound check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah,
6,
sounds
7.
good now.
Yeah, you're there.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah. So check. Tell the rest of the party check the side passage for more prisoners. There's traffic that way, and then I approach the door to the east cautiously.
I'm on it.
All right. So after Rubik, it'll be Oran's turn.
It's my turn. All right, Orin's going to dash to here. Plot twist.
Plot twist. All right, Orin runs up next to Ivan. Ivan, you kind of hear Orin like run up next to you, and he's kind of like looking around in all directions, just kind of like almost like an owl that's just like looking for a way out of a building that's trapped in.
Orin, come with me down this hallway.
And he points this way.
Okay.
Trill looks at you and she says, "We shouldn't go down that hallway. That looks scary."
This whole place is scary. This is not the time for this, Trill.
Ah. She just kind of gets mad and stomps her foot on Orin's shoulder.
We'll be all right.
All right, so we'll go to Elwin's turn. He's going to dash forward with Rubik. So is the squirrel folk. He's still very weak. So... Oh, sorry. My lord, should I go with you as he looks to you, or should I go with Master Rubik? He's looking to Orin. Because Orin saved him.
You could go ahead with Rubik.
He looks nervous as Rubik seems to be the more rougher of the two, and he says, hesitantly, "Yes, my lord." So, so you and Ivan, you and Ivan are gonna go up while Rubik, Elwin, and the squirrel folk are gonna go forward. Rask, where would you like to go? As it's going to be your turn.
Rask is going to follow Sorthal down, I guess. This
Oh,
hallway.
Sorthal's not gonna go down that way. He's just looking down that way.
He's just looking at. Okay.
Yeah, because there's no he didn't say any about any foot traffic going down. So he's just
Right.
making sure nothing's gonna come out that way, just in case.
Okay. Guess
Oh,
Rask is
getting
going
back.
to.
Static.
Sorry, mine is.
Oh, Kuuretsu is static shock.
Yeah, give me a sec. No, it just has to do with my mixer. I have to restart it. But I'm going to, I guess, dash and move down to peek around in this hallway.
All right. Move down the hallway, and you see that there seems to be a row of cells just going off down the distance, much closer though. Obviously, much more closer corridors.
Than the other ones.
A little bit more eerie as well as you look down, since there's just row after row after row of cells in the darkness.
There's no sounds.
You don't hear anything. You can roll. You can roll perception if you'd like.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Wow.
You-
Yeah.
You do actually hear humming.
Coming from down the hall.
Yep.
Rask is gonna kind of wave at them and like put a finger to his lip, and he says, "Humming," or like, is it male, female? Can I tell?
Sounds male.
Rask, I can't really. Can I whisper as Rask?
You could try roll. I mean, if you want to, you could try to roll a stealth check to whisper.
Oh God. I mean, it's very very faint, right?
Yes. It sounds
I'm
like
just
it's way
gonna.
down at the end of the cells, like for way further than you imagine how far back these aisles go.
Okay, I guess I'm just gonna. No, he's just gonna be like, I hear humming. He's gonna say it quietly, but not like try to whisper it.
Good. It must be another prisoner. We'll go unlock his door.
Hmm. That's my turn because I can't really do anything else.
All right. It will then be Sir Ivan's.
I am going to walk over here.
All right, you walk over right next to Rask.
And then I'm going to pull out my magnifying glass, and I will begin to walk down this hallway,
Okay.
rolling an investigate check, looking for footprints.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast guidance on myself.
How far down are you gonna go?
I mean, I only have 10 feet of movement left. I mean, technically, I don't think I could really investigate and dash. I think that'd be too much of a
No,
rush.
yeah.
So 10 more feet. I got a 24 for investigation.
24.
Yes.
You begin to look around, and you actually look into this room. Well, and you notice that no one's in the room at all, and you can tell that these are even smaller quarters, and you even see that there are shackles, even with basically arms that have been rotten off the body that's fallen down in the back here.
Did it look like the footprints stopped at this door?
No.
That I just want to follow the footprints.
Okay. You notice that they keep going onward.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna continue to do. That'll be my turn.
It will now be Rubik's turn.
Rubik's turn. Rubik will cautiously approach the doorway to the east.
All right, you march forward.
And I will check the door for traps.
All right, roll for a perception or an investigate check.
Perception. I think. Yeah. Natural one. It's going good.
You begin to
No
look-
problem. All clear. I open the door handle.
You begin to look over for traps, and as you do, you actually hear something like a mechanism down from below you. Roll for a dexterity saving throw.
Perfect. No problem. Do I have a visual on this? For advantage,
no,
that
roll
is
a
the
natural
very
one.
thing. Okay.
No, just roll a natural one.
18.
All right. So you instantly notice that there is a pitfall trap.
Fear not, party. I have discovered the trap!
Rubik has fallen down a pitfall trap.
Does my 18 save me from something?
I get up to get one tissue, Rubik. This is what happens.
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
Rubik, as you're also falling, you also hear. Wait, what did you get? What did you get on the 18?
That's dex save.
Okay, you actually hang on to the side, then you don't fall down completely. Roll another dexterity saving throw.
Sure. 14.
You eventually hear the sounds of several scythes just start cutting through and across vertically or horizontally across the trap, as if someone was to fall through there, they would have been cut in half before they even fell down. And you see that Elwyn has actually grabbed you and pulled you up from the pitfall before you fell down.
Does the sound of the machinery sound well oiled?
Yes.
Oh fuck, we're in trouble.
Oh no,
Elwyn is heavily
maintenance
breathing as he
teams.
just lifted a dwarf out of a hole. And he just looks over at you and says something in Elvish. That Sorthal's too far away to say anything, but you can just basically say, you basically just hear him say, "You're welcome."
I look at him concerned and pat him on the back and be like, I hope you're okay. And turn back towards the door.
He just rolls his eyes.
Is everything okay over there?
Do you want to turn back around?
Yeah, there's a hole in the ground over here. Be careful.
Go back if you want. 10.
Well, this is why what did you say, Rubik?
There's a hole in the ground over here with blades that will cut you into little pieces at the bottom. Don't fall.
Is everybody all right?
I look around and yeah,
Then no,
you're all slow, so you didn't die to the scythe blades.
After Rubik's turn, it is going to be Orin's turn.
That's my turn, pretty much.
All right, Orin.
Yeah, I'll move up here and I'll check in the cells. I'll dash move. There.
Okay. You want to dash?
Yeah.
How far?
Right to here.
You kind of like run between Orin's or Ivan's feet or legs, and you just kind of like dive through and just keep running forward.
Uh-oh.
You notice that there are more doors ahead of you. Do you want to look inside the room next to you? I'll allow you to investigate or use a perception check if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll investigate.
Okay.
14.
You look through the room and you notice that there's nothing inside, just smaller quarters and actually just a couple bones and obviously what looks to be some sort of black ooze that's just kind of dripping onto the ground from the ceiling. It looks very weird and eerie, and it's actually moving.
Okay.
Oh boy, is it a real ooze?
Ooh, more pocket ooze.
Pocket ooze.
You shouldn't mix your pocket oozes.
Orin sticks out his left pocket, which is empty. Try and catch the black ooze. I end.
Okay. It is now going to be Squirrel Folk's turn. Elwyn's turn. And then he's going to jump right on the ledge of the door of the pitfall. And he's going to try to jiggle the door open. He successfully lockpicks the door, and he's going to open it slowly and then jump, kind of crawl through the other side. He looks to Rubik as there is a 6-foot wide hole between them, and he reaches out his hand. But before you decide to jump, Sorthal is going to run right here and just guard everybody's back. And it will be Rask's turn.
Okay. I hate my thing right now. It won't stop doing the.
It's okay,
stupid
no worries.
static.
You getting tased, Kuuretsu?
No, in my ears maybe. Yeah.
All right, so you kind of walk past Orin a little bit. As you can see, he's checking out the cell that he's standing in front of, looking for any signs of life.
Rask said one thing. 1 sec. Creepy dungeon. The suspense.
All right. Well, we will move on for now while Rask is taking a moment. Ivan, what would you like to do?
I'm going to continue my investigate, moving 30 feet this way, or if I see the footprints, stop.
Okay. You end up right there. Do you want to look in the room?
Sure.
Okay. Looking in the room, you see that it is empty, but you still see the footprints going forward.
Still nothing here. Rask, do you still hear that humming? I don't hear anything.
Do I? Do I still hear the humming?
Stop.
Rask shakes his head, but he was gonna go towards where he heard the humming.
Okay. Would you, Rask? I guess we'll go back to your turn since you could talk now. Do you want to just keep going forward, or do you just want to stay there?
I was gonna keep going towards where I last heard the humming.
Yeah, give me the rest of your movement speed.
God, I hate this.
All right.
Long hallway.
Very long hallway.
Sales is tiny.
Yeah.
See, it's just very eerie and very cramped. You can see that it's just like just walking through all these cells. You don't know what's inside of them. You don't know what could be behind them. Just you actually continue to walk down the hallway, Rask, and you hear the humming has stopped, but you definitely could tell that there was humming down this hallway.
Okay.
It'll now be
yeah.
Unless you want to do something else. I know you.
No, it's fine.
Okay. It'll now be
Rubik?
the rest of your turn. I mean, I know you moved there. Did you want to do anything else? I don't. You dash, right?
No, because
Oh, that's right, yeah, you
because
wanna
I'm still
investigate, yeah.
investigating the footsteps.
So it'll then be Rubik's turn.
It is my turn.
And you see Elwin is basically holding his hand out to you to try to help you.
I approach the door again.
All right. Roll a athletics or an acrobatics check.
Sure.
Or actually, I'm sorry. Roll just an athletics check.
Athletics. Hold up. Oh, I have a thing for that. 12.
You jump across, but you actually see you grab onto Elwin's hand and you kind of dangle down again. When you do, you actually trigger the trap again. And you see that your feet just kind of dangle right above where the scythes just swing through. And Elwin's going to haul you up. And just kind of mutter something in Elvish again, but he doesn't expect you to say anything at all, and just kind of gets on his guard again. And he's actually going to let you take over, helping people get over as he's going to stand guard.
Sure. I prepare to. Did I ever, Ivan, crackhead? Did I give you your rope back, or do I still have it? I assume I gave it back.
I mean, I'm not really.
I assume I gave it back because we didn't.
Did you say you gave it back?
I don't think you ever said you did.
I know, but
So then, no, I would say you'd still have it if
Yes,
you didn't
you
tell
would
him
still
that you gave
have
it
it.
back to me.
I used the magical rope and prepare to like wrap around whoever is coming towards the trap
Next.
thing.
Okay. So you just.
So I'll like throw it out, like make it like go over and like wrap around their arm, like their forearm a couple times. It's
Okay.
60-foot rope, so it's like.
So yeah, you definitely get the squirrel folk next. And he kind of looks. He says, "I'm coming. Wait."
So as they jump, like while they're like, as soon as they like leave the ground, I yank hard and like pull them, so like super jump them across.
All right.
gonna get some whiplash.
Gonna dislocate some limbs here. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
whatever. You would.
No.
You want to get chopped up by a fucking elven scythe trap?
Right.
What if he's like, my jump is amazing?
Well, then
So
he's fine.
you so you wait for the next person to get across, and it is now going to be Orin's turn.
It's my turn.
It's Orin's turn.
I'm gonna dash up to here.
All right. You dash up to there. Would you like to investigate or perception into the room next to you?
Yeah, I'll investigate. 23.
You look in the room and you oh, grab you. You look in the room and you notice that there is nothing there, just very empty. But over in the corner, you actually see that it looks like there's a huddled group of people that were once there, but they actually look like they're petrified and made of stone now.
Go. Some weird things in this place.
As Orin just kind of creepily looks at Terrell, and Terrell nods as you can see she's terrified to the point where she's like tearing up, ready to cry. I don't like it here. I don't like it here. I don't like it here. And she keeps whispering to herself.
Well, hide again then, so you don't have to look at it.
But I
Just
want to
gonna,
help
like,
in case if something happens to my master.
Just gonna like pat her on the head.
You just pat her on the head. It is now going to be Squirrel Folk's turn. He's going to run forward and leap. Rubik, roll for a strength check on the rope.
Sure.
Actually, give me a survival check. I apologize.
Survival check.
Yeah. To use the rope.
Do I get advantage because it automatically does stuff that I
Yes.
command it to?
I will allow that.
Survival. Plus 2 is 14.
14.
1-4, yeah.
You pull the Squirrel Folk across, and you see that he's safe and sound now on the other side as he looks to you and hugs you. Thank you, my lord.
I pat him on the back slightly as he hugs me and turn back towards the scything blades in the hole below us.
You have saved my life yet again. I owe you twice this day.
You owe me another soul.
Yes, my lord. As he holds his short sword tight.
Epic. You shall be my minion. I
Is
shall
it
call you
Sorthal's turn?
Fuzzy Tail.
It's Sorthal's turn. Rubik, my turn now. As he claps and like waits for the rope as if it's his ball, like as he's waiting for you to throw the ball.
I cast out my lasso of truth to the wielder of the sword of justice.
All right. Roll a survival check again.
12.
Ooh, you got 12 as well, matching. You get him across as well, and he kind of lands on his butt, and he just kind of sits there. Ooh, ah. Thank you, Rubik. I appreciate that.
Yeah, get out of the way. There's more coming.
All right. And he steps to the side. Why didn't you yell at the Squirrel Folk? He's still standing next to you.
He's old.
And the Squirrel Folk smiles as he just kind of like looks at Sorthal and just kind of like does like a meh, like sticks his tongue out at him.
Rubik glanced. It wasn't a compliment.
And he just kind of looks sad now as his ears go down.
How old are you anyway?
I am only 16.
Yo,
Rubik pretends he doesn't hear this and pretends that didn't just happen. As he's the oldest here, apparently, by a lot. And prepares to receive the next of his...
His allies.
Yeah.
All right. Do you wait? It is now going to be Orin's turn. Oh, no, wait. Sorry, that was the NPC's turn. You were helping them. It is now going to go all the way to Rask's turn. I apologize.
Shit, sorry, I had to sneeze really badly. I'm gonna keep following the hall down.
Okay. How far?
As far as I think I heard the humming coming from, because if It sounded like it was fairly far down, right?
You move 30 feet.
I move 30 and then I can dash to 60.
And you dash, and you eventually stop, and you in the back of this cell. There was someone sitting.
Well, I guess Rask is gonna tap on the bars.
As soon as you do, you see a fellow with red eyes looks up at you, and he stares at you, very devilish looking.
Wand out.
And you actually hear a language you've never heard of before. Do you know Bissell? I'm assuming you don't.
No, I do not know
Okay.
Abyssal.
It sounds very creepy and eerie as it begins to speak, and you see that it stands up now and is approaching the door.
Rask's tail is like kind of swishing back and forth a little bit nervously. He's not really sure what's going on.
In common, eventually you hear him say, "Do tell me your name."
Answer first.
He smiles. Clever. I would like to. Is that you making all that ruckus just a moment ago?
I'm gonna look down the hall.
And you see Orin is kind of peeking through the bars, and even further, you see Ivan is looking through another set of doors. You can see they're looking for the noise of whoever was talking or humming when you were basically the claim that you made.
Hmm. Not me. Oh. Explosion was me.
He kind of smiles. Ah, so you're causing explosions. Are you freeing people? I would love to go back. As he steps away from the door, waiting for his turn.
Alright. Rask is gonna pull out the crowbar and get to work, I guess.
Okay.
Although I dash, so I guess I don't really have a.
Yeah, you're getting ready to pull out the crowbar, and he's just waiting. It will now be
I'm going to continue my investigation path. I'll cast guidance on myself again.
Okay.
17.
All right. How far do you want to move?
I'm looking at the ground, and like if I see the footsteps veer off in a direction, that's where I'll stop.
How far can you?
30 feet.
Orin, do you want to look in the room next to you?
Do I see, like, as I was walking, did I see the footprints veer off at any point?
You just keep going.
I'll look in this room that I'm next to then.
You look in the room and you see that it's empty.
Still nothing around here. Do I see the footprints continue to go?
Yeah, forward. And you actually hear Rask talking to somebody.
Rask, you found someone.
Orin, you hear the same. You kind of like tap Ivan on the shoulder and point to Rask to kind of show him that Rask had found somebody.
Ooh, yes, let's go. Let's get about. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. It will now be Rubik's turn. You're just kind of waiting for your allies.
Yeah, Rubik's just kind of like wondering what the hell's going on, taking everybody so long. Like he's prepared to accept more across the death trap that is the scything blades below him.
All right. So after Rubik's turn waiting, it'll be Orin's turn.
I'm gonna move up to this room and check in here. $14.
You walk forward, you see that there's nothing in there but a dead body that looks like it's been ripped apart and organs flung everywhere. It looks somewhat fresh, and actually footsteps were going there, but no longer does this like a report,
Okay.
unless you're looking for human organ.
Not really, no. I'll use the rest of my movement. Move up here.
You move up here, and inside the room, you actually peek in, and you see that there is a very, very large built fellow with reddish dark eyes, and he has white hair. And you see that he has several markings all over his neck and arms, and he's just kind of smiling, staring at Rask. But when he notices you peek your head, and he smiles and says, "Hello, little.
Hello.
You are here to free me as well, are you?"
I guess if that's what Rask is doing.
Your name is Rask.
You just hear Rask kind of
Roll
sighing.
a Constitution saving throw.
Me.
Yes.
Wait, I forgot what my constitution is. Why does it sound like someone's heartbeat is playing over the... It closed it again. Alright.
I assume that's Runark doing his Mongolian throat singing heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That is 15 plus 2, so 17.
Oh. You feel as though someone is whispering in your head, and eventually it stops, and he smiles at you and says, "Tell me, Rat. You don't look of normal lizard folk. Where do you hail from?"
Not here. Rask is like visibly bristling because he does not like the feeling of someone trying to control him.
He nods his head. Of course. Forgive me, you just look very unique and different.
Don't do that again.
I'm sorry, perhaps maybe it was just a reaction. I don't know what you're really talking about. He smiles. Roll a
Insight?
roll an insight check. Orin, would you like to roll an insight check as well?
Yeah, because Orin is both confused and
You hear this, but you don't really know what's going on.
18.
9.
Rask, you can tell that he knows what he was talking about, but you can tell he's not going to do it again.
You do it to any of us, and I don't open door.
Of course, I won't. I will not take any of your friends' minds over. Do not worry. Rask smiles.
I really don't like... Rask is really unsettled by the way he's saying his name now.
Your name, though, it is quite nice. Suiting for you. Please now, hurry. We don't have much time to waste, and should the guards know that you must be here. If you free me, I will help you. I'm quite handy with a blade, he smiles.
You fight elves?
Oh, I'll fight anyone to get my freedom.
That's a little bit... Oh, man. Alright, yeah, Rask is gonna help him.
Ah, thank you, friend. You won't regret it. I guarantee it. And he smiles eagerly.
Insight
waiting to
check.
Get out of the cell quickly. All right, roll an insight check again.
Oh, God. 12, but he's also gonna go ahead and open the door. Try and open the door.
Okay.
16.
You take the crowbar and you bend over 2 bars, and you can see that it looks like he can try to crawl through there. He says, "I'm quite large, actually. Would you mind trying to give me more room?" You kind of look to Orin, and Orin, would you want to help do another strength check on the crowbar?
Yeah.
Okay. Rask, roll again.
It's okay, you tried. 14.
Orin, what did you get? Just so I can add it.
4.
All right. That'll help. So you see that you bend a third bar, and then the other two even further, and he smiles and says, "Thank you, friends. I appreciate that. Now I will help you. I'm unfortunately been stripped of all my gear and weapons. I will need to retrieve, and I can even pay you for." As he steps out of the door, as he does, he's going to smile at both of you, and he says, "You can call me Raquel." He's going to bow.
It's a very unique name.
Orange is just gonna like keep an eye on him and then do like a little head nod back to him.
You
Thank
know
you,
where
Wizard. I appreciate your assistance. Are there more of you, or is it just the two of you?
more, but you know where they keep weapon?
Weapon. What do you mean weapon?
Your stuff.
No. Unfortunately, I was bagged when I came here. Can you believe it? They almost ruined my hair. As he looks at his hair, and it looks actually somewhat still well kept. Besides him, like him being all dirty and looking a little like underfed.
Rask looks up at his head and it doesn't really have hair. He's not sure what to think about that.
I was wondering if any of you could spare me some food and a little bit of. Quite hungry. You see, they haven't been down at my cell for at least 6 days. I'm literally starving.
Okay. Rask will root through his pack and grab him trail rations and his canteen of water.
He
One of his
smiles.
canteens of
Thank
water.
you. I appreciate that, friend. And he's going to eat and drink as much as he can. And you see, he miles down the food and drinks about half your water in a manner and hands it back to you. Thank you. That was quite delicious.
Hmm.
I never thought I would say that about a trail ration. Ha ha ha.
Hungry makes food good.
Indeed. Well, let's get going with your comrades. I will help you and assist you in getting out of this place. I'm sure together, if you already got in here, we could surely get out.
Any others?
I've heard voices, screams, most unpleasant ones. But no, none that I've heard close to me. I did have a cellmate just down the way, but it sounded like some sacrificial, horrific ending happened. I heard chanting and I heard stabbing and ripping, as if they just mauled him. He must regress and say the following. I'm sure you already looked into his cell or checked out all the cells down here. Did you look for any survivors? He shrugs, waiting for your answer.
I followed humming.
Well, at least you found me. He smiles. Hopefully others will speak up.
Okay. Well, Rask is gonna jerk his head back down the hallway. Let's go.
Ivan, you catch up and see them down there.
Oh, you found one.
Hello there, friend.
What does he look like?
He looks like a humanoid, but is like tinted very dark reddish color, with white hair and red eyes.
Can't say I've seen someone like you before.
Yes, you could say that I was born with a bit of a curse.
Is that curse why you're in here?
No, it's not.
So why are you in here?
I was caught.
Would you like to get revenge?
Of course.
As long as you can swing a blade.
I would need one in order to swing one. He smiles as he kind of puts his hand out, patiently waiting.
Rask is gonna put his hand out and say, after. Catch up with others.
Yes, let's go. Let's go.
Of course. He smiles. After you, I will follow you. Where are your friends? Why did you all split it up?
Ivan's just gonna continue to walk, but he'll walk down this way and like look in the rooms as he goes by.
Okay.
'Cause there's lots of rooms we haven't yet.
Okay.
I guess start with
That one.
because that's basically where I was. So I'll just move right there, move
Okay.
down, moving down.
All right. So you're starting to look through all the rooms. We will actually end there for tonight, though. Thank you everybody for playing and listening in. We really appreciate it. Tonight went really great. I had a really good time. I hope everybody else did as well.
Yeah.
If you have any comments or questions or anything like that, you can message me or leave it in the general D&D chat so one of the other DMs or admins can do it. But for tonight, if everybody could send me your vote, direct message me your vote on who you thought did MVP for tonight.
Just one.
Do 1 and 2. Give me first and second place. And everybody, Carnes will be joining us. He'll be the new 6th member. I guess it's up to you guys if you could find him in this labyrinth, because that is where he's located.
I figured it was in one of these cells. Yeah.
Yep, you're somewhere.
This
Is that
hallway
one?
that we completely ignored.
Okay.
Right.
No, he would have heard something. I would have let him know.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I got dark vision, so I'd see too.
Yes.
We all have dark vision.
No, it's fine. But if we're done there, then I will leave off the stream there.
Yeah.
Lots of fun. Hope we
Yeah, man.
Hope we find me next time.
Yeah,
And,
You'll
done.
we'll